Championship subdivision playoff game as 12th-ranked James Madison takes on the 5th-ranked Appalachian State Mountaineers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Chuck Hushton along with Avery Hall. We've got two teams here today who have owned the national championship for the past 3 years. Avery, in 2004, it was James Madison. In 2005, 2006, Appalachian State. Now the Mountaineers going for a three-peat.
I tell you, it's been an unbelievable run for both teams. James Madison, since 2004, they're 37-12. Again, ASU since 2005, they're 35-6. So both teams have played phenomenal football over the last 2 years, and I expect them to do so today.
James Madison very good at stopping the rush. They're led by All-America safety Tony Lizotte.
Tony Lizotte has been an active player for James Madison over 4 years. He's a 4-year starter, defensive player of the year, not only in 2005, but in 2007. 88 tackles already this year. He's a very active player, and he's the heart and soul of this Duke's defense.
Appalachian State loves to run the football. They've got two great running backs in Kevin Richardson and the quarterback Armani Edwards. Richardson recently broke the record. He is the all-time leading rusher now for Appalachian State, breaking the record of the great John Settle.
John Settle had a phenomenal career here at Appalachian, playing after college with the Atlanta Falcons and Washington Redskins, just to name a few. But you're right, Kevin Richardson has broken all of his records. I tell you, he's done an outstanding job considering that he came in as a walk-on, pretty much out of shape, but has only rushed for 4,500 yards.
All right, Thanksgiving weekend, of course, and these two teams playing away from their families, but this is like family. This is what you're shooting for.
Absolutely. When you traverse into camp in August, the goal is to make it to the playoffs and ultimately win a national title. So, again, these kids would not want to be anywhere else but right here in Boone, North Carolina, playing for potentially a chance at a national championship. They're family. They have great team chemistry, and that's why they're here today. Playoff
time, Appalachian State and James Madison. We'll have the kickoff coming up next on CSS and CN8. NCAA Division I first-round playoff game in the football championship subdivision as Appalachian State goes against James Madison. I'm Chuck Hushton along with Avery Hall. You see Coach Mickey Matthews in his 9th season as head coach of the James Madison Dukes. He's 64-43. In that 10 years, he brings his 12th-ranked club into Boone today. Jerry Moore is the dean of coaches in the Southern Conference. The Appalachian State Mountaineers, Moore in his 19th season as head coach. He is 14-10 in playoff action, 163-70 in play overall. Series began back in 1980. Appalachian State leads the overall series 11-3. They've won 3 straight, and the last JMU win came back in 1991. Just a beautiful fall day, late November, Thanksgiving weekend in Boone, North Carolina. Temperature, as you might expect in Boone, right at freezing. And the forecast is sunny, and Avery, it doesn't get any better than that, does it?
This is typical Boone weather, and this is why a lot of the kids love playing here. Thin air, it's cold. It's just a great day for a football championship series playoff game.
Appalachian State has won the toss. They deferred to the second half, I believe. So, James, let me go the other way with it. Trying to read the sign language here. I think that James Madison won the toss and deferred to the second half, so Appalachian State will get it first here in the first half.
Obviously, Mickey Matthews wants to have the defense to go out there first and try and set the tempo. And again, they've survived the 2000 season to get in some tough ball games by playing very good defense. So again, they're trying to set the tone here.
The kickoff man for James Madison is Dave Stannard. He's a junior from Midlothian, Virginia. Jason Pritchard will kick it off, and it comes down to Coco Hillary. Good return as he crosses the 45 out to about the 47-yard line. The tackle on the play is made by Adam Ford, a backup linebacker, along with a kicker, Jason Pritchard. Coco Hillary, who has explosive speed, with a 43-yard kickoff return.
And that's not unusual for Coco Hillary to set the tempo by having a good kickoff return, puts Appalachian in great field position. And again, a tight ball game, field position will be key here today.
Armani Edwards, second-team All-Southern Conference member, will line up at quarterback out of the shotgun. You see his numbers on the season. He is much more effective at running the football, however. He's rushed for 928 yards. There's a pass knocked down as We had a blitz on Edwards coming off Arthur Moats, starting at a defensive end position. You see the starting lineup. 3 of those guys, Brown, Suttle, and Coley, are all Southern Conference members. Corman, Madison, Jackson, and Johnson. Nick Cardwell, the tight end. All very talented receivers. And we do have a flag down.
Receiver downfield on the offense for 67. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
John Holt was downfield early, the right guard, and that penalty is declined, so second down and 10 yards to go.
When you run that screen play, Chuck, you always have the chance of an offensive lineman getting down the field too early.
So second down and 10 yards to go. Again, Edwards will go from the shotgun. His running mate back there is Kevin Richardson, 5'9", 190, a senior from Elizabethtown, North Carolina. Talked about him at the top of the show. He's the all-time leading rusher for the Mountaineers. Now Edwards will audible at the line of scrimmage. This is a very good James Madison defense. So we said 120 yards per game rushing. On the carry, it's Armani Edwards. He breaks into the secondary, rolled out of bounds on the far side. And that's going to be a first down for Appalachian State. Marcus Hayward, the strong safety, made the stop.
Chuck, I tell you, that was a good read by Armonte Edwards on that play. Obviously, he's looking. He see Adams, the weak side safety on the far wide side of the field. He goes to the left side, which is the weak side of the defense. Good read on his part. Good pre-play read.
20-yard pickup for Edwards. First down and 10 yards to go. Ball at the 32-yard line. Here is Richardson for the first time today. Finds it tough going in the middle. Makes it to the 30-yard line before they throw him back. Here's the defensive lineup. Hassan Abdul Wahed is the defensive end along with Skolniski. Daniels and Baranowski are the tackles. Barnes, Brandon, Nick Adams, the linebackers. And the defensive backs, McCullough, Haywood, Lizotte. We talked about him, All-America. And also Evan McCullough. It's second down and 7 yards to go. And here's the end around. On the carry, it's James Hill. He's looking for running room. Knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line. A gain of about 6. It's going to be third down and 1 yard to go. Scotty McGee, the cornerback, on the left side, came over to make the stop.
That was a great play by McGee, making an open field tackle. But I tell you what, watch Kevin Richardson. We talk about his running prowess, but he makes a great block here to spring the back there. It's a great block by Kevin Richardson.
And we have a James Madison Duke down and injured at the 25-yard line. Opening kickoff just underway. Winner of this game will get the winner of the Eastern Washington McNeese game. McNeese is seeded number 2 in the 16-team playoff in the football championship subdivision. McNeese, one of 3 undefeated teams playing in this playoff this season. Justin Barnes, the leading tackler for James Madison, is the Duke who's down and injured. He's going to be helped to the sidelines. Looks like a left knee for him. That's bad news for James Madison.
He's a second-team All-Colonial Athletic Association player, so that is bad news, and he's been very active. He, as well as Nick Adams, on the wheel side of that linebacking core.
6'2", 215. Justin Barnes, a senior out of Columbia, Maryland. And Adam Ford comes in there to replace him at linebacker. Third down and 1 yard to go here for Appalachian State. And the handoff going to Richardson. He gets hit, fumbles a football, diving in there. Let's see who's got it. I think James Madison came up with it, and they did. Wow. James Madison off a Kevin Richardson fumble. Marcus Haywood was the strong safety who came up with a football. You get to watch it again.
Tell you what, that was a good job by Adam Ford, kind of coming in, penetrating, and he just checked into the ball game, Chuck, as that linebacker for Justin Barnes. But great job of getting penetration. Good job of jumping on the football by the Dukes.
Ford caused the fumble. Haywood came up with it. James Madison has it. First down and 10 yards to go at their own 27-yard line. We'll take a break. Just underway in Boone, North Carolina. You're watching CSS and CN8. James Madison's football. Their quarterback is Rodney Landers. He wears number 7. 120 for 190 on the year. He also is a very prolific rusher. He's the all-time leading rusher for a quarterback in James Madison football history. And he takes a football and crosses the 30, takes it out to about the 34, where he's knocked down. And Rodney Landers, Avery, is banged up a little bit.
He is. They coming into the ball game. They said he has a gimpy left ankle, but on that play, he really didn't show any signs of a gimpy ankle.
You see the offensive line, the starters for James Madison. The tailback, Antoine Bolton, McCarter, Newman, Baker, and Brown are the receivers. Marvin Brown, the son of former Major Leaguer Bobby Brown, in the tight end. Out of the shotgun this time, it's Landers. On 2nd and 5, and the handoff going to Griff Yancey, and Yancey will get close to the first down at about the 37-yard line. Defensive starters for Appalachian State. A young defensive line, Robertson, Finnerty, Williams, and all-conference Gary Tharrington. There's the linebackers. DJ Smith's only a freshman. Jock Roman leads them in tackling. And the DBs are excellent. Justin Wose, Jerome Touchstone, the corners, Corey Lynch, and Titus Howard, the safeties. 3 of those 4 are all-conference. They're going to measure this thing as on the carry. Griff Yancey got close. This drive started after a fumble by Appalachian State. They moved the football down the field on the opening great kickoff return by Coco Hillary. As they stretch out the sticks, it's a first down for James Madison.
Tell you what, this JMU offensive line is definitely a strength. They've got all the guys. They've all played and started each game, so you know they can communicate well and have good chemistry on the offensive line. Right now, the first 2 plays, they've done a good job of knocking Appalachian off the ball.
Shotgun formation once again for JMU. And the rollout pass throw underneath is complete to L.C. Baker. His 25th catch of the year. He crosses a 40 out to about the 44-yard line, where he's knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field by Pierre Banks, a bandit. A lot of fans looking in may not know what a bandit is, but it's kind of a combination strong safety and weak side linebacker.
Absolutely. Very athletic player, can move around and get to the football and like I said, cover very well in pass coverage. And did a pretty good job on a very small L.C. Baker, 5'7", 155, who's running a quick out route there.
Pierre Banks wears number 31 for Appalachian State. He's the bandit, and he's had a great year. Rodney Landers will hand it off this time to Griff Yancey. Yancey breaking tackles, crosses a 40, takes it down to about the 36, where Banks makes a tackle again, number 31. This time a huge hole on that left side.
I tell you what, look at that huge hole. Poor tackling right there by Corey Lynch. He's an All-American, but not a good job of wrapping up, and that will be the Achilles heel for ASU if they cannot tackle here today.
17-yard gain for Griff Yancey. You see him, 5'11", 195, a redshirt freshman from Glen Allen, Virginia. So both teams moving the football early as these two kind of test each other out. And his ball caught and knocked out of bounds. They're going to say it's incomplete. That ball was hit at the line of scrimmage, popped up in the air, and it came down into the hands of Raheem Carter, but he couldn't hang on to it. Gary Tharrington was the one who knocked it up in the air, and McCarter couldn't quite get there.
That's the old tip drill. Good job by Tharrington getting his paws up in there, knocking that ball down, and also good job by ASU turning to a receiver and trying to knock that ball down or catch it. Good job on their part there.
Now, you're a former All-America defensive lineman, and you can say paws. I mean, you guys talk about paws all the time. To most people, that might be hands, but not to a D lineman. There's a handoff to the tailback, Griff Yancey, once again, and the redshirt freshman on 2nd and 10 gets good yardage. Titus Howard, the nickelback, makes the stop.
So in other words, the big uglies, we get a hall pass and we can say pause, right? But
absolutely. And you can say big uglies, too. I mean, you'll never hear me saying that.
I tell you what, right now, Chuck, James Madison, they're winning the battle up front, and we knew that would be a key to this football game. Again, a very seasoned Duke's offensive line versus a young and injury-riddled ASU defensive line. And right now, the Dukes are winning the battle up front.
They're going to measure this one on Yancey's run. He hit close to first down yardage, and he picks up just enough to move the sticks for James Madison. So the Dukes, after the fumble recovery, the drive started at the 27-yard line. They have moved the ball into Appalachian State territory.
Pretty good play calling, too, by James Madison's offensive coordinator. They're doing a great job of mixing the run and the pass, and obviously throwing the ball to open up the run.
This time, Landers under center, an I formation. They offset the I back, and here's a reverse. This is L.J. Baker, and he gets knocked out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Jerome Touchstone saved a touchdown. Baker on the reverse. They had everything going to the right, came back to the left. But L.C. Baker, and a good gainer, he can fly.
As you can see, this is a very efficient reverse because, again, one player touches the ball after the pitch. L.C. Baker, 5'7", 155. He can really flat-out run. Good job handling the football. Good job finding a seam there.
Ball at the 13-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go for James Madison. They go back to the shotgun now. And on the carry, it's Yancey. He gets down to about the 10 before he's knocked down. Gang tackled in the middle. Jock Roman, the middle linebacker, led the charge, the sophomore from Kingsland, Georgia.
Coach Jerry Moore has to be concerned with this rubber band defense right now. Again, ASU allowing James Madison to chew up a lot of yards right now. And again, if you really think about it, they're doing it with a variety of different guys touching the football. L.C. Baker, Griff Yancey, Randy Landers. Pretty good production by those three guys.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Again, the spread offense for James Madison. They come into this game with an 8-3 record. And a flat pass will go this time to Yancey. Yancey knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Touchdown.
They're going to call it a touchdown. So he broke the play. And Griff Yancey, the flat pass, puts James Madison on the board at 6-0.
If you look at this replay here, Chuck, again, Griff Yancey, he's comfortable catching the football out of the backfield because he's a converted wide receiver. Great job, great throw by Landers. Good catch, good run. Poor pursuit by ASU.
And the official in perfect position say the ball crossed the plane of the goal line. So on to try the point after is Dave Stannard, the junior from Midlothian, Virginia. And he knocks it through there. So 10 minutes, 12 seconds remaining first quarter. James Madison draws first blood. You're watching college football on CSS and CN8. James Madison on the board first here in this NCAA Football Championship Series playoff game. Catch Sports Night weekdays 6 and 11 Eastern for a fast break debate on the hottest sports stories in the Southeast. Also interviews with the biggest sports personalities. Tune in Monday when NFL expert Ray Buchanan will be in studio to look back at weekend number 12 in the NFL. You see the scoring drives after the fumble recovery. 73 yards, 9 plays, capped on the 10-yard reception by Yancey from Landers. And the kickoff by Pritchard. And it's taken by Hillary. This time he got racked up pretty good at about the 22-yard line.
Good job by number 32 hustling down in his lane and making an immediate stop right there. Great job of wrapping up. He could put that clip on a clinic tape and probably sell a few copies. Great special teams play.
22, Sean Price on the tackle. So first down and 10 yards to go. As you can see, the ball on the 22-yard line. Richardson on the carry. Picks up about 8 on that play. John Baranowski, who was the Sports Network National Player of the Week last week with 4 sacks in the win over Towson State for James Madison, made the stop. And a counter play this time going to Richardson once again, I believe. Adam Ford, who's in there at linebacker for the injured Justin Barnes, filled the gap nicely. Baranowski was there to help out on the tackle once again.
Baranowski is a defensive coordinator's dream. I mean, he's a very active defensive tackle, and as you can see, he does a good job of getting off the blocks and making a play. And I'm surprised he's doing so well against a pretty good interior offensive line for Appalachian and Subtle and Holt there.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. Ball still at the 30-yard line. Armani Edwards out of Greenwood, South Carolina. And we got movement as the flag comes flying in, and James Madison indicating that the left tackle, Brad Coley, jumped early.
We talk about communication and having consistency on the offensive line. He's one of those guys who hasn't started all season, but he's in there today. A lot of injuries.
False start on the offense, number 60, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
It was indeed Brad Coley who started early, so a 5-yard backup will put the ball on the 25-yard line, bring up 3rd and 7, an entirely different situation here for Appalachian State.
You cannot make mental mistakes like the Mountaineers are making here today if you want to try and beat a good football team. Again, these two teams mirror each other, but can't make mistakes.
Play action. Edwards at the 35. Turns it upfield, crosses the 40, picks up the 1st down at the 42-yard line. Marcus Haywood, who's in there at the strong safety, makes the stop.
Pretty good job by Armand. He's looking at both reads, nothing there, takes off and runs. Pretty good job by Dexter Jackson right there making a great block. Good heads up blocking downfield by Dexter Jackson.
Dexter Jackson, the senior wide receiver out of Dunwoody, Georgia, made an appearance on the cover of Sports Illustrated after the win over Michigan by the Mountaineers. Here's Edwards with time, and here's where he gets dangerous. And that is a coverage sack, and for all intent and purposes, as Edwards is run out of bounds on the far side of the field after a very short gain. Hassan Abdul-Wahed makes the stop, the defensive end for James Madison.
It looks as if Armonte Edwards, as he's coming up to the line, he's having a difficult time with his pre-snap read, because if you look at it, he looks a little confused when he's looking at the coverage. You talk about a coverage sack. I think James Madison right now, they're confusing him because they have what they call it's a safety slash linebacker, and that's a quick guy, and you never know where Nick Adams will line up, number 6. But I think they're confusing Armonte right now.
So a loss of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 12 yards to go. And a very short gain for the Mountaineers that time as Kevin Richardson carries. Following the lead block of the All-America at center, Scott Subtle. J.D. Skolnitsky, sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C., made the stop.
I'll tell you what, after today's game, I'm going to have to get me a hooked on phonics to announce Baranowski and what was that lad? Skolnitsky. But I'll tell you, however you say their names, they're very active football players.
Gain of 4 yards on the play, so 3rd down and 8 for Appalachian State. Possession down here. And movement by Kevin Richardson. He took a step forward. That's going to back it up 5 yards against Appalachian State, and another mental error.
I tell you, and it's what's funny about the mental mistakes by Appalachian. It looks like the football game last year in reverse.
Illegal procedure against the Mountaineers.
Chuck, I say last year in reverse. In 2006, they played here, and ASU won 21-10. Well, ASU was up 21-3 at halftime, but James Madison had 3 fumbles and 7 penalties in the first half. So again, it looks like a reversal of fortune here today.
That was on the 9th of September back in 2006, and the game before, Armani Edwards became the full-time starting quarterback for Appalachian State, and here he goes again. And he's going to get wrapped up at about the 45-yard line, slung to the turf by that tough James Madison defense. Arthur Moats, the defensive end, was there.
Tell you what, Armonte's going to have to do a better job with his reads and also throwing the football downfield, because what's happening, JMU already has 8 guys in the box, Chuck, and if they don't respect the throw, they're going to continue to keep 8 guys in the box, and it's this offensive unit of ASU.
On 4th and 8, a high and booming punt, and a fair catch by L.C. Baker at about the 10-yard line. Baker, one of the leading punt returners in the Colonial Athletic Association. That was a 55-yard punt by Neil Young, who averages 38.5 yards per punt. That was 3 shy of his season long. So a booming punt pins James Madison at the 11-yard line. We'll take a break. 7-zip. James Madison leads Appalachian State. This is college football on CSS and CN8. In the western North Carolina mountains, Kid Brewer Stadium in Boone, North Carolina. Appalachian State going to work on defense here. And James Madison with the football for the second time. The handoff going to Antoine Bolton, who was in the game at tailback. And he gets about 3 before Tim Washington wraps him up. Tim Washington, 6'3", 265, a junior from Sugar Land, Texas. Transferred here from LSU. He had a great season early for the Mountaineers this year, then got hurt.
Got banged up a little bit and has been playing gingerly, but looks like he's back on track today. Very, very active guy. And obviously, we know he's a decent football player, because if you can start your career at LSU, you got to be able to play a little football.
Second down and 7 yards to go. Landers going to run the quarterback draw, and he muscles his way out to about the 18 or 19-yard line, where the freshman linebacker, DJ Smith, makes a stop. DJ Smith, a great story for Appalachian State out of Charlotte, North Carolina. His high school independents won 4 straight state championships when he was there.
I tell you, he does not know what it's like to lose, and he's coming to Boone, North Carolina, and he's playing like a seasoned player. Again, 3rd leading tackle on the team, and he's only started 5 football games.
He wears number 9, I formation. It's 3rd down and a long 2 yards to go here for James Madison. Handoff going to the fullback, and that's Griff Yancey. He is going to get out across the 20 on second effort out to the 24. Corey Lynch closes him down there, but not before Yancey picks up the first down.
Corey Lynch is a great player. If you take your hints, Griffey does a great job of staying low, pretty good vision there, cutting it outside, and then unfortunately couldn't shake that one tackler. But you're hearing Corey Lynch's name a lot, and if he's coming up, that's not a good thing for Appalachian. You really want to see your defensive linemen and your linebackers involved in stopping the run up the middle.
Corey Lynch, one of 16 finalists for the Buck Buchanan Award, which will be announced in a couple of weeks. First down and 10 yards to go at the 24. Rodney Landers, a junior from Virginia Beach, will keep it and runs up the middle at the 30, 35, 36-yard line. Lynch knocks him down there, but not before Landers picks up another first down with a 13-yard gain.
Gosh, Rodney Landers, if you look at this guy right here, he's going to run. It's like that belly play there that some teams run in the Southern Conference, but pretty good job of running. I bet if he were at any other school, he'd probably be a running back, because he's a solid runner.
Yeah, 6'1", 215 pounds. He's a load. 2 setback shotgun formation for James Madison. They lead at 7-zip. Handoff this time going to Yancey's dragged down in the backfield. On the stop, it was Tim Washington, the left side defensive end, who showed his quickness that time, ran him down from behind.
That's a great read by Tim Washington. Just watch, he gets behind the tackle and just runs the running back Yancey Griffey down. Great hustle, but great cerebral play and playing his gap responsibility real well.
So it's a loss of 4 yards on the play, second down, and 14 yards to go. There's Landers out of the shotgun once again, looking to throw, and he throws it underneath. The pass is complete in the flat. On the catch, it was Bosco Williams, 6'2", 215, a sophomore from Clifton Forge, Virginia. So that gets him about 5 or 6. The pass was a little wide. Bosco Williams had to go to a knee to grab it, so it brings up 3rd and long. This is 3rd down and 6 yards to go with the ball at the 39-yard line.
ASU's defensive line is getting a little more active. The previous play, you had a great play by Washington, which actually put James Madison in this tough 3rd down situation.
And they're going to get a timeout called here by James Madison as the play clock was becoming an issue for them. So the Dukes will gather around Coach Mickey Matthews and talk this 3rd and 6 play over.
Chuck, that's probably the toughest play call he's had to make here today. If you think about it, they've been getting 4 and 5 yards every time they've run the football. And you and I both know if you get 4 yards a pop, that's 12 yards. That's easily converting your 3rd downs and getting 1st down. So, again, finally, ASU did a pretty good job of getting penetration by Tim Washington and stopping those guys.
Don't miss Talking Football Sunday night. It's the ultimate football show for the ultimate football fan. Get all the engaging discussions, player interviews, and live viewer calls. If you want to stay on the pulse of college football this season, tune in every Sunday at 8, only on CSS. So here we go. Boy, there's a nice crowd at this playoff game on Thanksgiving weekend. This entire town is turned out to see the Appalachian State Mountaineers battle James Madison. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. Ball at the 39-yard line. Landers out of the shotgun once again. And here he goes, running the option, turns it up. And a couple of missed tackles, and he's going to pick up the 1st down at midfield. He ran out of the arms of a couple of tacklers, and Anthony Williams made the stop. Do watch it again.
Good job by Landers at running all the way, but he also saw that the safety was playing off the ball, jumped at that seam immediately. Poor tackling by ASU. You come up, you got a chance to tackle him for a 3-yard gain, but no, he scampers for a 1st down. ASU needs to do a better job of tackling by the defensive linemen and linebackers.
Yeah, it was a 10-yard pickup for the quarterback, Rodney Landers. There's a handoff this time going to Yancey, and he drives the middle. Appalachian State has it all stuffed up. DJ Smith was there to finish him off. But the first one there was Jacques Roman, the middle linebacker. So, see, that may get him about a yard. Put it down at the 49-yard line. It's 2nd down and 9 yards to go.
The way James Madison has run the football, that's a pretty productive play for ASU, only holding them to 1.5, maybe 2 yards on that 1st down run.
Antoine Bolton is a setback now. Bolton 5'7", 160. And we get movement by the tight end. Jumping early was Charlie Newman. And he went 1 count early. That's going to back James Madison up 5 yards.
ASU will get a break there by that offsides or action.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Number 44, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So Charlie Newman lines up at that tight end position.
Yeah, the false start gives ASU a break there because, again, James Madison is doing a pretty good job of moving the football.
Out comes Bolton at running back, and goes Griff Yancey. Going to be 2nd down, 13 yards to go. Ball's at the 47 of James Madison. Quarterback keeper, Landers, crosses the 50, takes it down to the 48-yard line. The tackle on the play is made by Anthony Williams and Gary Tharrington. Tharrington wearing number 96. He was 1st team All-Southern Conference, the team announced by the league's coaches earlier this week. So it's 3rd down and 8. Put the ball at the Appalachian State 48-yard line. Play action, flat pass. Will go to Brown. Let me correct that. Baker, L.C. Baker's going to pick up the 1st down. The speedy one, DJ Smith, stopped him. But you have L.C. Baker, 5'7", 155, all blur team, being guarded out there by a linebacker, DJ Smith.
That's just a great mismatch. As you see, a great read by Landers. He actually looked the safety off, looked downfield. Again, everybody starts to move towards his eyes, but he throws off to Baker there. Good read by Landers. Great catch by Baker. Great scheming by the offensive coordinator.
Ball at the 38-yard line. First down and 10. The drive stays alive for James Madison. Play action, pressure, and a quick pass is caught by the tight end. That was Charlie Newman, but that time great pressure from Titus Howard on the quarterback. Tony Robertson was also there. Robertson got the pressure on the quarterback. Titus Howard knocked him down immediately.
Robertson did a great job of standing home and, again, getting his hands up. Great job by Howard, just really trying to cover a smaller back. Did a great job of covering him.
No gain, second down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the Mountaineers' 38-yard line. Rodney Landers this time. Reliable quarterback keeper, and somebody got an ankle as he went by. Justin Wose tackled him. I think Titus Howard got the ankle, though, before he got there.
It was actually a good play by Titus Howard, too. You've got a pretty good athlete in Landers out in space, and you've got to bring him down. So good shoestring tackle by Titus Howard.
Another senior, North Charleston, South Carolina is his hometown. That's going to be the final play of the first quarter. We've got one in the books in this FCS playoff game in Boone, North Carolina. And James Madison leads Appalachian State 7-0. You're watching CSS and CN8. I'm Chuck Huston along with Avery Hall. Here we go, second quarter as James Madison drives the football, leading Appalachian State 7-0. Third down and 5 yards to go for the Dukes. And here's the option pass. Baker has a man out there, and the pass is over the head of the intended receiver. The man down deep was Rakeed McCarter, but he was covered like a blanket by Jerome Touchstone. Let me correct that. Justin Wose was all over him.
I tell you what, that was definitely a mismatch relative to height. If you take a look here, it was pretty clear he was going to throw the football all the way down the field. McCarter's much taller than Touchstone, but good backside help by Corey Lynch. And I'm surprised he didn't grab that. Has 22 interceptions. He has a knack for interceptions, so he kind of missed that one.
This is Dave Stannard on to try a 50-yard field goal. The holder is Jason Pritchard, the punter. And we're going to get timeout called. Something was not aligned correctly for James Madison, and Pritchard requested timeout. His crew today from the Ohio Valley Conference, a referee is Ken Switzer.
Chuck, so far these guys are doing a great job because you've got two physical football teams in James Madison and Appalachian. They're doing a good job of controlling the football game. And, you know, it's interesting. You know, you look at James Madison and you say, okay, they run a lot. They're in a conference with New Hampshire, you know, Delaware, you know, Towson, some teams that will throw a lot. But looking at this James Madison football team, these guys are for real. They play really sound football, and it obviously looks like they've eliminated a lot of mistakes from this time a year ago when they came out here to Boone, North Carolina.
Yeah, and they actually ended up going to the playoffs, losing to Youngstown State in the first round last year. And the last time they won here was when you were playing at Appalachian State back in, what, 1891? No, 1991.
You know what? I knew I was not going to get away from here without that coming up. They beat us soundly here, 31-8 back in 1991, and that was a playoff James Madison team as well.
All right, they're going for it on 4th and 5. They opt not to go for the field goal. And here's Landers, going to keep and going to get knocked down. Let's see where they spot it. He's going to be very, very close to the first down. Jacques Roman, the middle linebacker, was there, but I thought he got knocked down a little bit short. We'll check the spot, though.
He did not get the first down from my vantage point here, Chuck, but still, you got to be concerned about the tackling. If you take a look here, he runs to the weak side of the field. There's one Appalachian defender, three defenders touch Landers before he hits the turf.
Chase Laws was also there, the bandit back.
So ASU needs to do a better job of tackling.
And here's sticks, and they got it by the length of one football.
Wow.
Landers gets just enough.
That was a generous spot, Chuck, and I tell you, good for James Madison. But I tell you, I thought his knee hit the ground before where the ball was spotted. It's a generous spot there.
All right, so they mark it at the 26.5-yard line. The drive stays alive. A 4th down conversion for the James Madison Dukes. Landers going to give it to his tailback, Griff Yancey. Yancey takes it down to the 24. A gain of 3 yards on the play.
So they've got a lot of confidence in Ted on the left side of that offensive line, because, again, they were tight end to the right side and ran behind the junior tackle over there, and he did a pretty good job of trying to create some space there.
This has been a long drive. 15th play of the drive coming up. Started. They've consumed 7 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock.
Chuck, eventually that will wear on this ASU defense.
And they're going to get timeout. They were down to 1 second on the play clock. Excuse me, Avery. So James Madison calls their 3rd and final timeout. We still have 13:54 to play in the second quarter. We'll take a break here. James Madison driving the football, leading Appalachian State 7-0. You're watching CSS and CN8. Second down, 7 yards to go. Ball at the 24-yard line of Appalachian State. 15th play of the drive coming up here as Landers will go out of the shotgun. Now he audibles at the line of scrimmage. And the handoff will go to Yancey, and Yancey's going to get gang tackled at the 23. Gary Tharrington leading the charge. The big defensive lineman for Appalachian State, along with Jacques Roman. You see Tharrington there wearing number 96.
I'd say a good job by Tharrington, beating off that blocker there and getting downfield and holding on, wrapping up, making a good solid tackle. You know, the interesting thing about Tharrington, he's the leader of this defensive line, and he's a sophomore. They got sophomores along this defensive line, and that has to be a concern from Coach Moore. But right now they're playing pretty decent now here in the red zone, or close to the red zone.
3rd down, 6 yards to go. Here's Landers, throws it over the middle. Pass is caught. Ball is fumbled, and with the football is Jacques Roman. Roman going the other way, and we have a flag down all the way back at the 16-yard line. This was a great run by Roman as the ball is fumbled again. They stopped the clock at about the 1/2-yard line, and we do have a flag back here, though. We're going to see what that's all about.
I think, Chuck, you may have holding by Appalachian, or at least interference by Appalachian, but I tell you what, great pressure by Tharrington and good coverage by ASU secondary.
And I tell you what, Mike Cawson, at tight end, he got absolutely tattooed.
And, you know, that's why they call it the red zone, because, again, down here it gets...
You're wearing red.
That's exactly right. He'll have a few red marks this evening, right?
Absolutely.
But, yeah, it looks like it's going to be either holding or pass interference.
Ooh, here's Ken Switzer.
Pass interference on the offense. Number 5. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
Huge play. Bosco Williams is called for the interference.
Look at the solid pressure, bam, by Tharrington.
Right here.
I guess number 85 did Cawson did a good job of separating from the defender, and I think he did too good of a job of separating from the defender.
Jacques Roman running on fumes, lets a couple of people go by, and then got it down inside the 1-yard line, I think.
He can say $3 a gallon. That's why he ran out of gas, right?
Put it on the 2-yard line. 1st down and goal. Handoff Richardson. He gets mugged at about the 3-yard line. I think Appalachian State may lose a yard or two on this play. Leading the charge in there for the JMU defense was Tony Lazac.
That's a great job by the safety coming up, making a play. Chuck, this is where Scott Suttle, John Hope, and Kerry Brown, those interior offensive linemen for ASU, will need to really rise up. They've got a golden opportunity, and they've scored 90% of the time in the red zone, but they've got to show up here.
And here's 2nd down and goal. Armani Edwards throws, overshoots the intended receiver in the back of the end zone. The intended receiver that time was T.J. Corbin.
Incomplete.
And so it's going to bring up 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line.
Armonte Edwards trying to manufacture a play there, rolling out to his left. Really wanted to run the football, but Lazat did a great job of forcing the issue, making him throw the football. And again, just not a good comeback by T.J. Corbin there in the end zone.
All right, 3rd down and goal. Edwards going to run the football up the middle. He goes! Touchdown! Armonte Edwards. 4-yard run for touchdown. It's 7-6.
Tell you what, the offensive line, running backs, Armonte, they need to go over and kiss Tharrington because great pressure by him created a golden opportunity for ASU to get in it. Take a look here. ASU just has great spacing, creating space for a good athlete. No problem. Armonte goes into the end zone.
Brad Coley and Kerry Brown, 2 all-conference performers in the SoCon, open the way for Armonte Edwards. And for Edwards, that's his 13th rushing touchdown of the season. Julian Roush, who's all SoCon at place kicker, knocks it through there to tie it up. So 12-14 left. And we're even at 7 apiece here in Boone, North Carolina. You're watching college football on CSS and CNA. Fans here at Appalachian State have awakened here in the early afternoon. A 75-yard fumble return by the middle linebacker. Jacques Roman sets up the 4-yard run for touchdown by Armonte Edwards. Here's Julian Roush with the kickoff. And it's going to come down to Scotty McGee inside the 5. McGee takes it out across the 30, 35, about the 30, mark it at the 40-yard line. Scotty McGee gives James Madison good field position. The tackle on the play by Chase Law as a backup linebacker. We have a player down and injured. 32-yard kickoff return for Scotty McGee. And another James Madison Duke shaken up. They already lost their leading tackler, Justin Barnes, to a knee injury.
And this looks like one of the wedge guys coming blocking for McGee, and they did a pretty good job of blocking, but it looks like he may have hurt his knee or ankle on that play there.
The player down and injured is number 54, Jonas Rollins. He's a backup linebacker from Salem, Virginia. Looks like he also is favoring that right knee.
Chuck, you mentioned Jonas being a linebacker. You underscored to Justin Barnes is already out of the ball game, but even though Jonas is not listed on the 2D on our sheet, again, that's 2 linebackers that have gone down in this ball game.
So James Madison will go to work here. 1st down and 10 yards to go. The ball at the 34-yard line after the return by McGee. Turnovers have been huge in this game so far. Here's Yancey. Yancey getting some running room. Bounces outside. Knocked out of bounds at the Appalachian State 48-yard line. Corey Lynch, safety man, over to make the stop for Jerry Moore's club.
You look at the offensive line here, Scott Lim, Vernon Eason, Dorian Brooks, they're just doing a good job up front of creating a scene. Yancey Griffin, I mean, he's a great running back, but he's looking like a super running back because, again, those offensive linemen up front, Scott Lim, Dorian Brooks, Vernon Eason, Theo Sherman, Terrence Apter just doing a good job of opening holes.
18-yard game for Griff Yancey. 1st down and 10 yards to go in Appalachian State territory. Ball at the 48-yard line. There's Landers. Going to run that option once again. Gets to the 44 where he's knocked down. Gain of about 4 yards. Pierre Banks, a bandit back, makes the stop for Appalachian State.
Tell you, Pierre's a great story. He's a hard-working guy, but I guess when you're the 16th child of 17, you've got to be hard-working just to make sure you get dinner at dinner time. But great play of staying on the outside shoulder of the back coming out the block. Just good job of wrapping up and pulling Landers down.
The little man carries it this time. Antoine Bolton, he didn't get much. He got about to the line of scrimmage and not much more. So it's going to bring up third down and about 7 yards to go. Ball just inside the 45-yard line.
It's a good opportunity for ASU's defensive line to step up and not get good penetration, Chuck, just not to get knocked off the ball so that your linebackers can run freely.
Cam Spear filled the hole nicely from his linebacker position. So possession down here for James Madison. They're going to throw it back. Pass is complete to Bolton. Bolton finds some running room. Down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line goes Bolton. He is tackled by Jacques Roman. That throwback pass to the weak side, nobody was over there.
I tell you, it's just a great execution by Landers. That little whirly bird action throwing back to Bolton. Great block by number 76 right there, kicking out Titus Howard. Good job of Bolton just finding that seam and running for daylight.
Also a nice block by the tight end in there, Marvin Brown. Kind of sealed the inside, and Bolton was able to rumble 26 yards. So first down and 10 yards to go, mark it at the 18-yard line. Griff Yancey back in there, running back. And on the quarterback keeper, Bolton will take it to the 15-yard line where he's pulled off. The tackle on the play is made by Pierre Banks. Gets another tackle. So a 3-yard gain on first down brings up second down and 7 yards to go.
I tell you what, a lot of people talk about yardage after the catch. What about yardage after the initial contact when the running back has the ball? Right now, James Madison doing a great job of getting additional yardage after the initial contact. Because Jacques Roman should have pulled him down after making that initial contact, but no, Landers scampered for 3 more yards.
Little Bolton's back in there at the tailback position as they line up with an eye behind the quarterback. Landers going to throw underneath. Pass is complete. L.C. Baker will take it down to about the 5-yard line where he's tackled by Jacques Roman and D.J. Smith, a couple of linebackers. But the little man, L.C. Baker, in the middle caught that pass for a 10-yard gain, and it's first and goal for James Madison.
I tell you, JMU, if you'll see here, they're doing a great job of creating a mismatch with the little guy who's 5'7", 155. It's going to be extremely difficult for Jacques Roman to cover the guy who's so quick. Now, Jacques fast. He's very athletic, but L.C. Baker at 5'7", 155 is just too quick for
all blur. Right out to the side, the motion man this time is Ray Brown. And they hand it off, and with the football is Yancey. He's in, touchdown. On the draw play, Griff Yancey goes at right guard, and he just got into the end zone, and James Madison takes a 13-7 lead.
You know, you'd like to say this is a running back by committee with Griff Yancey and Bolton, but Griff Yancey is thunder. Watch this run. Boom, he goes in and hits the hole hard. And Bolton is lightning. And just a great job by James Madison with this personnel. They're doing what they need to do, calling the right plays with the right personnel right now.
The point after by Dave Stannard is good. And James Madison has reclaimed the lead on Appalachian State here. You're watching college football on CSS and CNH. Everybody loves CSS in Boone, North Carolina, where the Appalachian State Mountaineers host James Madison in this first round FCS, that's Football Championship Subdivision, as opposed to the FBS, the Football Bowl Subdivision. You got those straight now, don't you?
Too many acronyms. We could have an alphabet soup here.
Well, it used to be Division 1A and 1AA, but we've changed all that. There's a scoring drive, 66 yards, 7 plays, consumed 3 minutes, 11 seconds. Yancey with a 3-yard touchdown run. And, of course, that was set up on the big 4th down conversion by the quarterback for James Madison, Rodney Landers. Ball is kicked to the end zone by Jason Pritchard, and it will come out to the 20-yard line. Mark LaCree decides not to return it. So Appalachian State will go to work here, trailing once again, 14-7.
Chuck, you're talking about the BCS and the FCS. You know, with all the parity in college football this year, Appalachia goes on to beat Michigan and I think 9 different FCS teams beat BCS teams this year, and then all the top teams losing in the BCS poll that just have so much parity. They just need to call it college football.
Yeah, the LSU Bengal Tigers lost to Arkansas. Who knows who's going to be in that BCS championship? Here's Richardson. Kevin Richardson takes it out near the 30-yard line, going to be close to a first down. As Nick Adams, the weak safety, makes a stop. But, you know, there's now Kansas. That game becomes huge later on this evening when the Jayhawks go. They've got a shot at the BCS. Who would have thunk that in the beginning of the season? The West Virginia Mountaineers, they're getting their couches ready in Morgantown because they have a shot at the BCS.
Well, you think about Ohio State. They're excited because, again, they may be back in the fold depending on what happens tonight.
I'm an alumnus of West Virginia, so I can say that. Here's Armani Edwards off to the races at the 40, and he is knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line at about the 29. Armani Edwards gets on the corner, and he's off to the races. Marcus Hayward saved a touchdown.
A great job by ASU's offensive line. Again, they kind of zone block. Armani does a great job of not pitching it. Again, just seeing the seam and hitting that seam. He's so fast that, again, if he gets in open space, it makes it awfully difficult for a safety to bring him down.
42-yard pickup for Armani Edwards, the sophomore out of Greenwood, South Carolina. So Appalachian State just flying down the field. Here's a handoff, this time going to James Hill on a reverse. And he got one pretty good at the 25-yard line. Marcus Haywood, who just knocked down Edwards on this side of the field, goes all the way to the other side to make the stop on James Hill.
I tell you what, Marcus Haywood delivered the wood on that play. Again, great job of making a great open field tackle. Again, he didn't go for shoestrings. He just went body, upper torso for upper torso.
Gain of 8 yards on the play. Here's Kevin Richardson, and he gets tackled rather quickly by Hassan Abdul Wahed, the defensive end for James Madison.
So far, Chuck, great way to respond by ASU, considering JMU marched down the field 7 plays, 60-something yards against the ASU's defense. A great way to respond, and it looks like Appalachian's offensive line has picked it up a notch or two.
Third down, 1 yard to go for a first down for the Mountaineers. Motion Cardwell, and here comes Armani Edwards looking for first down yardage. He dives over a defender, and I think he got it. He dove over the defender, Tony Lazat, and picks up the first down, I think, at about the 20-yard line.
Not sure if you can see it, but great athletic play by the center, Scott Soto. He's going to pull from the center spot. Great block right there. Great job of reading that block by Armani Edwards and turning it upfield. So great athletic play by Soto.
Edwards now 86 yards on 7 carries, as you can see. He's having a big day. When he's going well, Appalachian State goes well. They're down 14-7, but threatening here midway through the second quarter. Motion man is Coco Hillary. Richardson, he had an opening for a moment, but good yardage. He goes inside the 10, down to about the 6 or 7 yard line. Marcus Haywood, another stop for James Madison.
Once again, good job by the offensive line. You see Coley there, you see Brown, those guys. The Washington Redskins made that play great back in the 80s where they pulled both the backside guard and tackle. Richardson did a great job of reading those guys getting behind them.
That's back when the Redskins had the Hogs.
That's it.
Richardson with the football once again, picking his way. And does he get in there? Yep. They say he's down at the 1 yard line. He almost actually broke the plane with a football, but I think they rule his knee is down. Tony Lazat, Nick Adams, and 2 safeties combine on the stop. So mark it at the 1. Watch it again.
Great job by, look there, good vision. 3 or 4 inches can make a difference in a 1 yard run versus a 3 yard run. And I say 3 to 4 inches. Richardson does a great job of bouncing back outside, find a little hole there to get closer to the goal line.
And going to Richardson again, plows in there. Is he in?
He's in.
Yes, touchdown. Richardson, 1 yard run for touchdown. He and Armani Edwards get it going, and they put that touchdown on the board for Appalachian State. It's 14-13 now. Good lead block that time by Scott Suttle, the center.
I tell you, Scott Suttle right now, he and John Holt and Kerry Brown, Chuck, are doing a good job. They just kind of accentuated ownership in this football game and did a great job of creating holes for Richardson and Edwards.
Julian Roush is on. He is 57 of 59 on the year, the all-time leading kick scorer, and this time it's blocked. And it's going to be covered by Lazat. Did Lazat? Excuse me, that's not Lazat. That is Evan McCulloch who covered it, but Scotty McGee broke through and got a hand on it. So it's 14-13. James Madison, by blocking the extra point attempt, preserves its lead. There's Richardson, his touchdown run, the lead blocked by Big Suttle. Scott Suttle, 6 feet 260, a senior out of Charlotte, went to West Mecklenburg High School. CSS brings you over 150 basketball games this season. Get wall-to-wall basketball coverage on Saturday, December 8th, with an SEC quadruple header beginning at 1 o'clock only on CSS. Go to css-sports.com to view complete listings for Vanderbilt, Alabama, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and many more. Boy, speaking of Alabama, they got a little football game today with the Auburn Tigers, the Iron Bowl, and no love lost in that rivalry.
I'd say that they say that's one of the more heated rivalries in college football, and we all know it can have a coach transferred out of Tuscaloosa or Auburn.
Oh yeah, Auburn's won 5 straight, Anthony. 80 yards, 8 plays, consumed 3 minutes and 8 seconds on that drive. McGee and Turner deep to receive the kickoff from Julian Roush. 14-13. We've seen almost everything in this game. McGee's going to have another opportunity to return it from the 1-yard line. Scotty McGee hurdles out across the 20 to about the 22, where he's knocked down. So James Madison will set up shop there. Brandon Knox makes a stop for Appalachian State.
Chuck, it'll be interesting to see how Appalachian State's defense responds to such a productive drive by the offense. And you can't help but mention, too, ASU has outscored its opponent 163-54 in the second quarter. And so far, they've outscored James Madison 13-7 in this game. So it'll be interesting to see how ASU's defense responds.
Ball at the 23-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Quick pitch. Will go to Yancey from Landers. And they get good positive yardage on first down once again. Wose and DJ Smith over to make the stop.
That's just a bona fide sweep there once Landers pitches it that early. And ASU probably needs to have a little better pursuit to kind of not allow the running back to chew up as many yards.
I got 5 on that one. So second down and 5 yards to go. Motion man is Bosco Williams. And they throw back on the slant. The ball straight up in the air, and it's intercepted. Ball is picked off. Tony Robertson, a defensive end, had dropped into coverage. That's your trip, Dale. And it's first down for Appalachian State. They get a huge break inside the 30-yard line.
I tell you, that was a great job by Justin Wose. If you look here, he's going to do a great job of baiting Landers, staking the receivers wide open. Bam! He comes up, ball pops up. Great job by Robertson being their big defensive lineman, getting an interception. He's going to be in heaven the rest of that game.
Has 5.5 sacks coming into this game. That's second in the Southern Conference behind Artis Wallace of Furman. And today he adds an interception to his defensive stats. So Appalachian State with a football at the 27-yard line of James Madison. First down and 10 yards to go. There's the reverse. This is Dexter Jackson. And he runs out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. As Evan McCulloch is over there. So Jackson doesn't get much. Gets 4 yards on the play, second down, and 6 yards to go.
Jackson wants to be more productive on that. Brad Coley did a good job as the left tackle, trying to get out there in front of Dexter Jackson and make a hole. Dexter probably could have cut back inside and probably would have had a little more production there.
Edwards goes from the shotgun. His setback is Kevin Richardson. Put the tight end in the slot and hand it off to Richardson this time, and he gets down close to the 20-yard line on the carry. Tackled on the play by Marcus Haywood, who's been very active at his strong safety position today.
Good job by Kevin Richardson keeping his shoulders down. Not a huge gain, but good center of gravity, running straight ahead north-south runner versus dancing and potentially losing yards there.
Well, they got 3, so 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Edwards checks out the defense for James Madison, then decides to change the play. The lefty back throws it over the middle. Pass is caught by Richardson. Richardson looking for running room, doesn't find much. And it's a good open field tackle by Lazat, I think. That's the first completion of the day for Armonte Edwards. DJ Brandon made the play. Watch this.
See, Armonte's looking his first read, second read. Has to go to the safety valve, the running back underneath. Good job by Richardson hanging onto the ball. Also, good job by Richardson getting off of the blitz there and get into pass coverage.
4th down, 1 yard to go, and Appalachian State trying to convert here at the 18-yard line. Here's Edwards. Has the first down and more. Edwards trying to get to the end zone. And did he get there? Down inside the 1-yard line, Armonte Edwards. Man, he got on the corner in a hurry that time. Marcus Haywood saved the touchdown, but it's going to be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
That's just determination by Armonte Edwards. Offensive line did a great job, but this kid just says, I'm not going to be denied. He tucks it early and does a great job of outrunning the linebacker there, who had to really just work hard to pull him down at the 11th hour.
Yeah, Haywood had some jersey, and that's all he had. So 1st down and goal to go. And in for a touchdown goes Edwards. Armonte Edwards, the 1-yard run. And he run that time at left tackle behind Brad Coley and just got into the end zone. Appalachian State takes the lead 19-14.
I tell you, he needs to go to the sideline and even Kevin Richardson and just slap those big uglies on the backside and tell them thank you. Because, again, Brad Coley, Kerry Brown, Scott Suttle, John Hope, Jonathan Bieschke, those guys did an outstanding job once again on that drive.
Here's Roush. Was unsuccessful on his last point after attempt, his 3rd miss of the year. And this time he knocks it through there. So a 1-yard touchdown run, you see, going behind Coley, finds a little seam, and he gets in there. We do have a flag down on that point after attempt. Watch it again.
Not sure what that could have been there, Chuck, in the holding area, but everybody was so low it'd be hard to see a hole there down when you're in the trenches, but it could be face mask or something like that. A lot of times when you're in the trenches down near in the red zone, the goal line, it's hard to see a hole because those guys are all so low and fighting for space there. But that may be something like face mask. We'll see here.
Ken Switzer, the referee, confers with Mickey Matthews, the head coach of James Madison, as they try to sort this out. Indications are face mask against Appalachian State. Here's Switzer.
Personal foul, face mask on the kicking team. Number 60. Penalties 15 yards, will re-kick.
Now Brad Coley, the tackle who just led the charge for that touchdown run by Armonte Edwards, will probably come off the field and go clear to the other end from where Jerry Moore is standing.
Exactly.
He wants to get as far away from Jerry Moore as he possibly can, because this is no chip shot now. It's 35 yards out for Julian Roush. All Southern Conference place kicker. And it's on the way, and it is no good. Wide to the left. So that's a huge play. And the lead still at 5 points here, 19-14. As Roush has to try to knock it through there from 45 yards out, and as you can see, he pulls it right.
He is normally money, and I tell you what, Chuck, now you think about the missed PAT and then the blocked PAT.
Yep.
That's 2 points there that ASU may miss in the second half of this ball game.
That's Jerry Moore, longtime coach of Appalachian State, now in his 19th season. Graduated from Baylor University in 1961. I had the opportunity to play golf with him during the Southern Conference Rouser this past August. He was talking about the trip to Michigan, how he was going to get $400,000 to go up there and play, and ends up icing on the cake. He beats Michigan, but I tell you, I played golf with him today and almost made him give up the game.
Wow.
It was so frustrating playing golf with me. He almost said,
you must be a scratch golfer, because Coach Moore has a saying, don't ever spit the bit out. And if you almost forced him to spit the bit out.
It was horrible. I don't think I played worse golf in my life than I did that day. But Jerry Moore he's quite a gentleman, a great ambassador for college football.
He really is. I mean, it's unbelievable. I played for Jerry. And, the thing about it is he's only lost 18 football games here at The Rock in his 19 years. And that's just unbelievable when I look at that statistic.
Roush kicking it off, and McGee takes a ground ball at about the 3. Across the 20, looking for running room. Scotty McGee out to the 27, 28-yard line. So a nice return by McGee. And James Madison will set up shop. Reggie Hicks, a backup tailback, makes a stop for Appalachian State.
Chuck, we were talking earlier about the scoring prowess and the stinginess of ASU's defense in the second quarter. And right now it's holding true because, again, they've outscored the Dukes 19-7 here in the second quarter. And it'll be key for ASU to sustain the pace, but we know that the Dukes will play for 4 quarters.
Landers will hand it up. Nope, quarterback keeper, and he runs into the middle and gets knocked down by some of those defensive linemen. Leading the charge was Pierre Banks. Also Titus Howard. Howard was down low. That was a mishandled snap, and James Madison lucky to avoid a fumble there.
Good job by Titus Howard coming up from that strong safety position. And also Pierre Banks, he's very active in the middle. Good job of reading the gap, what the guards are doing, and getting up there making a play immediately.
That was a gain of 2 yards. Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball at the James Madison 30. And on the handoff this time, it's Griff Yancey. Correction, Landers on the quarterback keep. Titus Howard makes a hard hit on him at the 34. So it's going to bring up third down and 4 yards to go for the Dukes. Another possession down for them. This is a huge down.
It is, and I tell you right now, ASU's having a little success right now because the defensive ends are doing a better job of maintaining their gaps and holding down their responsibility so the linebackers can play inside.
60 yards rushing on 11 carries for Rodney Landers. He's going to pick up a little bit more as he gets enough for the first down. Crosses the 40 out to about the 42-yard line. On the tackle that time, it was Gary Tharrington. So first down for James Madison.
See the replay here. Landers again, he really doesn't have good pitch exchange with the running back, so he's going to run the ball. So again, that's just a good job by the offensive line knocking ASU off the ball, because again, he didn't have the pitch relationship with the running back, so he's going to run the football.
Anthony Williams also on that stop. So on 1st and 10 from the 42. The handoff goes to Bolton. Little Antoine Bolton doesn't get much. DJ Smith closes him down after a 1-yard gain. Second down and 9 yards to go. Ball at the Dukes 43-yard line.
When they run Bolton in between the tackles, Chuck, they're definitely looking for space because he's not a big guy and he's not going to run anybody over. But that time they were looking for a little space. ASU did a good job of just making it very congested there.
Just a minute left in the half, and here's a reverse. And they want to throw it off the reverse. And they're going to get a face mask call. Apparently not. Tim Washington made the stop. The running back, I think that was L.C. Baker.
L.C. Baker on the carry.
And he got jerked to the turf by Tim Washington.
If you just watch this play, it was not a face mask, but poor pitch right there. And Baker didn't run with a lot of authority, which allowed Tim Washington to make a great defensive play.
That was a good call.
And hustle.
Or a good no call.
That's right. He did not have the face mask, but not an authoritative run by Baker, which again allowed the big defensive lineman to catch up to the play.
3rd down 11. JMU is 5 of 7 on 3rd down conversion attempts. They have no timeouts left, so they got to use the sidelines here. Throw over the middle, and it's intended for the tight end. That's Mike Cosson, but it's one hopper. So 4th down and 11 yards to go. And on to punt the football will be Jason Pritchard. Pritchard, 4th in the Colonial Athletic Association with 37.4 yards per punt. Dexter Jackson, deep to receive. He averages 8.1 yards per punt return, and that is 4th in the Southern Conference. First punt of the day here for Pritchard. The snapper is Rowdy Rudd. He's got a great football name, Rowdy Rudd. Jackson.
Sounds like a wrestler, but
it does. Wow. Jackson making a couple of nifty moves. Makes people miss. Crosses the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. Tackle on the play by Reggie Hicks. So Appalachian State will get the football at their own 27-yard line with 25 ticks on the clock here in the first half.
Chuck, that was really not bad coverage by James Madison, but Dexter Jackson cut on a dime and probably gave 2 cents change there. But just a great move. It took 3 or 4 inches to the left there and skirted for a few more yards. A great run back by Jackson.
Armani Edwards goes out of the shotgun here and runs into the right side of the line, picks up about 10-12 yards out to the 38 or 39-yard line. That's a first down. So clock stops as they move the sticks here with 19.1 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Take a good job by John Holt and Jonathan Beeschke on that right side of knocking JMU off the ball there.
Yeah. Nick Cardwell was also over there, the tight end. 6'4", 230, a senior out of Kernersville, North Carolina. That's where you live, isn't it?
Absolutely, and he represents Kernersville very well. Good kid, good student, hard-working football player. Now, his parents, matter of fact, our kids, his younger brother and sister, our kids all go to the same after-school program, Triad Baptist Church. It's a good family, too.
The timeout called by Appalachian State here. That is their first of the first half, so they got 2 remaining. Appalachian State taking advantage of a couple of errors. A big 75-yard fumble return by Jacques Roman. Put the ball down inside the 1. That later set up a 4-yard touchdown run by Kevin Richardson. Armani Edwards also took it in from 1 yard out. Here's Edwards once again. And he tries to pitch the ball on his way down to Richardson. It rolls out of bounds. I'm not sure if Jerry Moore liked that play too well. Nick Adams made the tackle.
You want your quarterback, particularly Armani Edwards, to be creative and manufacture plays because he's a good athlete. That was not too smart there. Again, he could have put that ball on the turf, and one of the JMU defenders could have picked it up and taken it to the house. But not a smart play. But again, you know that he likes to create some fantastic plays. But like I said, you just have to be careful with those.
13.5 seconds remaining, as you can see. I think they were trying to determine if that was a forward pass beyond the line of scrimmage. They rule it as not. So it's 2nd down and 4 yards to go for Appalachian State.
That was a wishful thinking because relative to the pitch relationship, Richardson was behind the quarterback.
Empty backfield this time. No blitz, and they throw the pass is complete and out of bounds. Goes Dexter Jackson in James Madison territory at the 42-yard line.
That's a senior play right there for you, Chuck. Again, Dexter knew to get down to the first down mark. As you can see here, good protection up front. Good, solid, quick throw by Armani. Dexter thought about it. Can I make a play? No. Let me go out of bounds and manage the clock well.
Evan McCulloch over there to make sure. So the ball at the 42. We have 7.9 seconds remaining, and Appalachian State just about 1 pass completion from being in Julian Roush territory here. Edwards, and he's going to get sacked back at the 47-yard line. That time the pocket collapsed, and on the sack it was J.D. Skolnitsky, his first sack of the year. First half comes to a close. It's been wild and woolly in this FCS playoff game in Boone, North Carolina at Kid Brewer Stadium. Your score at the break, Appalachian State 19, James Madison 14. Stay with us. We have our halftime show coming up. You're watching college football on CSS and CNH. I'm Chuck Huston along with Avery Hall, set to go here in the third quarter of this FCS playoff game as James Madison will be getting the football first. They won the toss and they elected to, or deferred to the second half, so they get the football to start playing the third quarter. Julian Roush to kick it off for Appalachian State. The absolute star of this game in the first half has to be Armani Edwards. 116 yards rushing on 12 carries. He scored 2 touchdowns for the Appalachian State Mountaineers. He's also 2 of 4 throwing the ball for only 17 yards, but he's done it with his feet. Kickoff will come down to Marcus Turner. Back to the 10, to the 20. Up the middle he goes. Correction, Scotty McGee will take it out to about the 35-yard line where he's knocked down.
I tell you, Scotty McGee has been productive all day on returns, and again gives James Madison great field position at the 36 as they start this second half offensive possession.
Chase Laws, backup linebacker to Pierre Banks, makes a stop for Appalachian State. 35-yard kickoff return that time for Scotty McGee. So here comes James Madison down by 5. 2 missed extra points for Appalachian State. We'll see how large that looms as this game unfolds. Hand off gone to little Bolton. Antoine Bolton gets it out to the 41-yard line where Pierre Banks combines with Jacques Roman to make the stop on the speedy Antoine Bolton. 5'7", 160, a senior from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Antoine Edwards' counterpart at quarterback for James Madison, Rodney Landers, has had a good first half as well. You see his numbers throwing the football. Second down and 5 yards to go. Ball at the 40-yard line. And here is Landers on a quarterback keeper, and that time they adjusted nicely. Jacques Roman and DJ Smith combined on the stop.
It's a pretty good job by Jock and DJ Smith converging on the ball carrier. But what you have to be careful of is Griff Yancey could have continued to run because he faked the ball to him. No one really respected that fake, and he could have still been running. So great play, but you got to respect that running back. 3rd and 2 from the 43-yard line. Landers from Virginia Beach, Virginia, runs a quarterback draw, and we'll see if he got enough for the first down. I think he got it by about a half yard. Pierre Banks tackles Landers. That was just straight ahead plunge by the QB, and it should be enough for the first down. Chuck, as you mentioned, nothing sexy about that. You just got your big offensive lineman. If you take a look here, big offensive lineman just hunkering down, knocking ASU off the ball. Good job by Pierre Banks, and other linebackers just coming in and trying to make a tackle via stopping up the gap.
Mark it at the 45-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. This time they spread the offense a little bit more, and they're going to run the option to the strong side. Slipping down back at the 43 is Landers. Landers tried to make a cut, went down. He had a nice pitch relationship that time with Griff Yancey out there, but his feet went out from under him. So a loss of a yard. Second down, 11 yards to go. Ball at the 44.
ASU pretty lucky on that play because I think Landers had a seam to run in, just lost his footing out on the wide side of the field.
Bolton and Baker, the setbacks with Landers. And again, he will audible at the line of scrimmage. Quick pitch. Here's Bolton. Wow, he got hit. That was Jacques Roman who laid the absolute lumber to little Antoine Bolton.
I tell you what, that was great hustle by Jock Roman because, again, Bolton's a quick back, and Jock had to do everything in his power to get out there to that quicker back to make that play. But when he got there, he delivered a blow.
Big time hit by Roman.
That was a good formation, too, Chuck. If you look at it, it had L.C. Baker and Bolton in the backfield. That's speed on top of speed.
3rd down, 7 yards to go. Ball is at the 44. Under center this time. They run the option. And on a one-hopper, it goes to Griff Yancey. He was lucky he didn't fumble that football as Jerome Touchstone, the cornerback on the right side, came up to make the play.
I tell you, that was just good fundamental defense by Appalachian. If you take a look at the replay here, just the option play, tight end to the wide side. They ran the option. The defensive end forced Landers to pitch it early. The back couldn't hang on to it, but it was just good execution by the defensive line and the linebackers. Cortez
Gilbert makes a play rather than Touchstone. So 4th down, 9 yards to go. On to punt the football is Jason Pritchard. Pritchard from Mechanicsville, Virginia. That punt is returnable, and this is Dexter Jackson. And he gets hit, fumbles a football all the way back at about the 15-yard line, and they run it down over there.
You know, Dexter Jackson had a few pork chops in the middle of the field. What I mean by that, he could have run in the middle of the field, but he saw that filet mignon out on the outside, meaning the wall was set up nicely. But had he just turned it up, he could have gotten a few more yards. And I say just go ahead and get the pork chops while you can. The filet mignon looks good out there on the perimeter, but go ahead and get what you can.
Will Knoll put the big-time hit on him, knocked it loose. We'll take a break here. Still 19-14, Appalachian State's ball. When we come back, you're watching CSS and CN8. James Madison fans making their way down from Harrisonburg, Virginia, where the campus of JMU is located, to see their Dukes play as Appalachian State goes to work. 1st down, 10 yards to go at their own 13-yard line. There's a pass underneath. Taking it out across the 25 to about the 30-yard line. Hans Badishon makes his first catch of the day. Badishon, the leading receiver for Appalachian State coming in. That's his 43rd catch of the year.
He's been very productive. Again, you talk about 43rd catch. That's probably going to add about 10 yards to his 660 yards for reception yardage. But again, good, quick out throw to Badishon by Monty Edwards. Great job of protecting him up front.
And on the end around this time, it's James Hill, and Hill got upended. Good play by the defense of James Madison. Nick Adams, who's had a big-time day on defense, makes a stop.
You reckon James Hill had a little deja vu when he came out for this game? Chuck, again, he started his career at Rhode Island, which is a CAA, Colonial Athletic Association school. So he's probably, seen, at least heard of these Dukes before.
On 2nd down and 14, Edwards rolls, throws, and a pass caught.
Wow.
Nice catch. I think that was Badishon again on the far side at about the 38-yard line. 14-yard gain on that play, and Badishon makes 2 grabs. You see him, number 3. Watch this grab.
Think about this throw, too. Monty, he's left-handed, so this is very normal for him to go back to the left and throw to the left, as it would be for a right-handed quarterback throwing to the right. But outstanding catch there by Badishon.
Good footwork.
Good footwork, good balance, good catch, great focus.
So mark it at the 38-yard line. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Here's Edwards trying to add on to his 112 yards rushing thus far. Crosses the 40, takes it out to about the 43. Tony Lazat, the free safety, a senior from Augusta, Georgia, went to Westside High School. And he makes a stop. Westside High School also produced the current head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Ken Wisenant.
Wow. It's interesting that Lazat, consistency and good football play runs in his family. His brother was a 3-year starter at James Madison as well. But, Chuck, I'm just wondering how he missed Furman, Citadel, Appalachian to get all the way up to Harrisonburg, Virginia, because he's an outstanding football player.
Yeah, must have been the family ties. Here's Edwards. Going to throw it over the middle, pass complete, and then into and out of the hands of James Hill at the 44-yard line. That hit him right in the breadbasket, I think.
That's a play that you have to catch. Again, that's that deep slant. Again, 15 yards down the field, and he slants back towards the middle. Good protection up front. Good read by Armonte. You've got to catch that. It was a little low, but you got to catch it. If you can put two hands on it, you got to bring it in.
So 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Ball still at the 41-yard line. Armonte Edwards will get a new play from the sidelines as he surveys the defensive alignment by James Madison. And a quick pass is complete to T.J. Corman, and he fumbles a football. What are they going to say, incomplete?
That may be a good call for the Mountaineers, because I don't think that Corman's knees hit the ground on that play. Let's take a look at the replay here. Again, Corman, if you take a look at this, he catches the football, tries to get additional yardage. His knee never touches the ground. Bam. The elbow did. Whoa, the elbow touched the ground.
Well, if we had replay, I think that call would be reversed because they just gave it to James Madison on a fumble.
Well, I tell you, I was so focused on the knees, Chuck, that I saw that the knees didn't touch the ground, but his elbow did.
His elbow did.
Wow.
So he is ruled down by contact when his elbow touches. So big break for James Madison. They go with the I formation this time. Play action. Lander, he eludes one tackler, Robertson, and then runs it up the middle and takes it right on down inside the 35-yard line. Tony Robertson had a shot at him. And then it was Titus Howard who came up to make the play. He couldn't knock him down. Tim Washington finished him off.
Look at Lander's heat. 1 missed tackle there. 2 missed tackles. 3, almost 4, 5. And Landers, he's a big guy. He's 6'1", 215. That's not the prototypical elusive quarterback. You got to wrap him up and bring him down.
16-yard gain makes it 1st down, 10 yards to go at the 31-yard line. Sprint draw goes to Yancey, and Yancey gets upended by Jacques Roman. The middle linebacker hit him at the 30-yard line. He hurtled forward down to about the 26, make it the 28-yard line.
Good job by Jacques Roman using the swim technique to get past the guard there and making a great play coming upfield right away and not letting Griff Yancey get going.
Gain of 3 yards on the play for Griff Yancey.
You know, it's interesting. We don't have really inclement weather here. It's a cold day, which makes the ball somewhat slippery at times. But ball has been on the turf a lot today, Chuck. And you know, it's interesting. Both teams coming into this ball game have not done very well when they fumbled the ball or lost the ball. I mean, you look at Delaware's 3 losses, 1 to UNC at Chapel Hill, and Delaware and Richmond. They had 3 turnovers in each of those ball games. ASU, when they've lost, they've had a few turnovers, so that doesn't bode well for either team. But a little more ball on the turf than I expected between these 2 football teams.
Terrence Apted, the left tackle, was shaken up. 6'4", 335, a junior from Pango, American Samoa. And somehow they got him to Harrisonburg, Virginia. Shotgun formation. And here's the quarterback, Landers, once again. On 2nd and 7, he crosses the 25, gets it down to about the 23-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. Anthony Williams, 2007 All-Southern Conference defensive tackle, makes a stop along with Corey Lynch. Lynch was the SoCon Player of the Year defensively in 2007. But this is a huge play. 3rd and 2. James Madison down by 5. They have the ball at the Appalachian State 23-yard line. And they just beat the play clock to get that one off. There's Landers. He gets it to the 20. He may have the 1st down. I believe he does. DJ Smith, the weak side linebacker, makes the tackle.
It's a good play by DJ Smith. You know, that's just a traditional zone blocking up front. Chuck, again, they zone block to the short side of the field. You take a look here. They zone block to the short side of the field. Landers just does a great job of cutting back and saying, okay, let's see if I can find a seam on the backside.
That's more filet mignon. I like your food analogies. Hey, former All-America defensive tackle, you still look like you could play, but you can still put away that food.
Big guy, so I love talking about food.
Here's Yancey. He's trying to find some running. You had the filet mignon in there, the pork chops, the hamburgers.
Well, I tell people in banking parlance at times we talk about not always going for the filet mignon, that big sexy deal and that attractive tender deal. You have to go for the pork chops.
You got to go for the pork chops
every now and then, my friend. But I love the analogy from day one being a big former defensive tackle here.
Ball is at the 20-yard line. It's second down and 10 yards to go after Griff Yancey is stopped for no gain. We're getting late in the third quarter already. Rodney Landers. And he hands it off once again. This time Yancey runs into a stone wall. Tony Robertson, left side defensive end. Anthony Williams. I'll tell you what they did. They picked up the line of scrimmage. They moved it about 1 yard deep in the James Madison backfield.
And that is the best way to stop the run, is get penetration. And again, there's nothing sexy about what James Madison's doing. This is what we call, Chuck, smash mouth football, where you line your big 7 up front and you try and knock ASU off the ball. That time ASU had got great penetration.
Yancey 72 yards on 16 carries, says rush for 1 touchdown so far. Here's 3rd and 10, play action. Landers sends it, sliding catch down inside the 5-yard line. That went to L.C. Baker, the wide receiver, the leading receiver coming in for James Madison. Clutch throw, clutch catch. Watch it again.
I tell you, poor execution by the defensive line right here. No pass rush whatsoever. Again, that's a quick throw, probably a 5-step drop, but no pass rush whatsoever. Landers had all day to throw the football.
15-yard gain on that pass play makes it first down, goal to go, ball at the 5-yard line. James Madison trying to retake the lead. Virtually every touchdown in this game has been set up by a turnover. There's Yancey. He gets it down inside the 5, takes it to about the 3-yard line. Tim Washington, the left side defensive end from Sugar Land, Texas, makes the stop for Appalachian State.
I'd say pretty good penetration by Washington. Also, Anthony Williams in the play. ASU's really focusing on the run right now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see JMU, if they can't get it by just playing smash mouth football, throwing the ball over top there.
Mickey Matthews, he worked for Jim Donnan in the Southern Conference when Marshall was a member a few years back. Moved on to Georgia when Donnan was head coach in Athens. Came here 9 years ago. Here's Landers looking for running room. Takes it down inside the 2 to about the 1.5-yard line. He kind of stumbled coming off the snap. DJ Smith made the tackle, and it's going to be 3rd down and goal to go. And we have yet another
3rd down and goal.
Offensive player down and injured for James Madison. This time it's Griff Yancey who's shaken up. Yancey was trying to provide a lead block to Sanders, and he appears to have injured his right knee.
It looks like Rodney Landers ran right into that right knee. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see it again, but it looks like he ran right into the right knee of Griff Yancey as Yancey was trying to provide that block.
Griff Yancey, 5'11", 195, redshirt freshman. He is from Glen Allen, Virginia.
I tell you, that young man's had a very productive day. Again, 17 carries, 73 yards, and 1 touchdown. So you hate to see him go down. When we talk about the Dukes having a running back by committee, he's a huge part of that committee. He's probably the chairman.
Well, they lost their leading tackler in the first half, Justin Barnes. They lost another backup linebacker, and now Griff Yancey, their leading running back. If you don't count Landers, Yancey goes out.
Legal procedure.
Well, we have people moving all over the place. Well, they're going to back him up 5. That ball was at the 2-yard line.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Number 71, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That was Chris Clark, who's in the game at left tackle for Terrence Apted. He's kind of the roving offensive lineman. He can play all 3 positions, tackle, guard, and center. And he was in there for Apted, who went out with an injury a moment ago, and he jumped early. So 3rd down and goal to go. The ball is at the 7 now. You see the penalty yardage a moment ago. Here is Landers, throws over the middle, and a pass knocked down by DJ Smith, the weak side linebacker. He got his hand in the passing lane, so it brings up 4th down, and here comes a field goal team for Coach Mickey Matthews.
I tell you, DJ Smith again right here. Not a lot of real estate, so he's hanging close to that line. Good job right there, sticking that hand out there, knocking that ball down. Good read on the quarterback, so he can help out on the run, but still in the coverage.
Bosco Williams was the intended receiver. This will be a 25-yard attempt coming up here for Dave Stannard. He's a junior from Midlothian, Virginia. He's going to try to make it a little closer. And there's a box. There's a fake field goal. And into the end zone goes Stannard. Touchdown. Wow. Charlie Newman had the lead blocked. And Stannard off the fake. I thought it was a botched field goal attempt, but it was a fake all the way. Stannard makes it 20-19.
I tell you what, that's great execution by JMU, but also JMU's taking advantage of a very aggressive team. I should have great execution there by the holder and great run by the place kicker. But again, JMU, the coaches know that ASU is very aggressive in blocking punts.
And LSU did that same thing, that very same play against South Carolina, where the holder tossed it over his head to the kicker. That try for point after is no good. It's partially blocked. So that makes it 20-19. And again, another botched extra point attempt. That is not automatic anymore. Here's a touchdown again. The first collegiate touchdown for Stannard. You're watching CSS and C8. And the band plays on as James Madison retakes the lead on Appalachian State. The NCAA Division I FCS playoff action continues at 3:30 Eastern this afternoon with a showdown between Southern Conference opponent Wofford and the University of Montana Grizzlies. Then catch the live Sun Belt matchup between Florida International and Florida Atlantic. The Battle of South Florida at 7 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action on CSS all season long. So James Madison ready to kick it off. Coco Hillary and Mark Legree deep to receive for Appalachian State.
Chuck, don't forget that 44-yard touchdown drive just now started by that, I guess, bad call where the elbow hit the ground, the ball popped out. So I'm sure that'll be a point of contention down the road for this ASU coaching staff.
Here's Coco Hillary at the 4. Hillary out to about the 21-yard line. 17-yard kickoff return by Coco Hillary. Tackled on the play by Tony Lizotte. So Lizotte not only is an All-America safety, he also runs down on kickoffs. Why not? He's one of the best tacklers on the team. We'll take a break here. 4:22 remaining, third quarter. James Madison has jumped out in front of Appalachian State here in Boone, North Carolina. This is CSS and CN8. Chuck Hush and Avery Hall back at Kit Brewer Stadium. Great crowd on hand here to see this FCS playoff game between Appalachian State and James Madison. Here's our Monty Edwards for the Mountaineers, trying to find running room, and he gets dragged down at pretty much a line of scrimmage. May have gotten 2 or 3 yards out of it. Scotty McGee, number 19, makes the stop.
It's a great play by Scotty McGee. And, you know, it's interesting that 4-down lineman, 2 linebackers and an extra safety made good sense on that play because, again, you got a good athlete in Monty Edwards, but you got a safety on him making a great play in space.
Edwards throws it to the sidelines and pass is complete. That was Josh Johnson, I think.
82.
Evan McCulloch makes the stop. You see Josh Johnson. That's his 14th catch of the year.
He's that great possession-type receiver, as you can see. Good hands. He's not going to burn anybody down the field. I mean, he has before, but not routinely. But, again, good possession-type receiver.
He's one of the fastest players on the team. Third down, 1 yard to go for Armani Edwards and company. Edwards with 122 yards rushing on the day. will go to Richardson. He picks up the first down out to about the 35-yard line. Richardson is tackled by J.D. Skolnitzky.
Richardson does a great job of staying behind his pads, staying low, and really got cut off at the line of scrimmage, but just manufactured about 3 more yards there. Good effort on his part.
Straight drop, and the pass out of the shotgun will go to Dexter Jackson. He is knocked out of bounds on the far side. So good positive yardage on first down for the Appalachian State Mountaineers as DJ Brandon, the linebacker, is over to make the stop. You look at time of possession, though. You talk to any football coach that plays Appalachian State during the course of the years, they'll tell you, we got to control the football. And right now, 28 minutes, 28 seconds for James Madison to 12 minutes and 3 seconds for Appalachian State. JMU is doing exactly that. Here's Edwards again. This time he only gets a couple as he runs into J.D. Skolnitzky, then defensive end once again. 6'5", 245. You see him, number 98, sophomore, Fairfax, Virginia.
Chuck, to piggyback on what you're talking about, time of possession in favor of JMU, 28 minutes to 12 minutes. You look at the number of plays. I mean, JMU's had 58 plays for 290 yards, whereas Appalachians had 41 plays. So JMU's had more opportunities to try and put points on the board.
Third down, 2 yards to go. Here's Edwards running the keeper off the option, and he gets knocked down. Going to be close to the first down, but maybe a little shy. Tony Lizotte and Skolnitzky make yet another stop.
I tell you what, James Madison right now, they're doing a great job of keeping those lanes narrow. They're not giving Armonte Edwards much room to work, and a lot of teams have not been successful in doing that. But when he's running down the line, he's looking for a seam, and they're just not giving him that seam.
Reminds me a lot of Jason Foster, the quarterback for Georgia Southern. All he needs is one small seam, and he's gone. And Armonte Edwards the same way. There's the punt by Jason Pritchard, and on the reception and return, it's L.C. Baker. Neil Young on the punt, and Baker on a quick return, tackled by Titus Howard. So James Madison gets the football back once again.
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned Jason Foster, because as Appalachian traversing this ball game, they couldn't help but think what Jason Foster did right here on this very field 3 or 4 weeks ago when Georgia Southern came up to Boone and beat the Mountaineers. But I'm still not convinced that I hadn't really seen anybody as quick as Jason Foster. No. I mean, that kid is really quick. Landers is a great runner, but I don't think he's as quick as Jason Foster.
Coaches all over the Southern Conference happy that Jason Foster has run out of eligibility, because he is and has been a great one. Here's Bolton on the counter play, and little Antoine Bolton makes it right across the 30. He got about 6 or 7 yards on that play.
You know, we've been calling Bolton and Yancey, Griffith Yancey, Thunder and Lightning, but I tell you what, Bolton showed a little thunder there. If you see this run here, he's going to get this ball. It's a bona fide sweep right now. Watch the end of this run when he hits Jock Roman. Bam! I tell you what, he trucked Jock Roman on that play. Good run by the diminutive or small running back.
Gary Tharrington, the All-Southern Conference defensive end, twisted an ankle at the end of that play as he made the stop on Bolton, and he is being helped to the sidelines. That's a huge loss. First team All-Southern Conference defensive end Gary Tharrington is waited to the sideline. Now he's trying to run it off. Gets a big round of applause.
Good job of being a leader there to show your team, look, I'm okay, let's play ball.
In the lineup to replace him, Jabari Fletcher, 6'3", 225. He's a true freshman out of Grady High School in Atlanta. He's played well, but sparingly.
This defensive line is so young, and again, the injuries have depleted this front most of the season.
Play action on 3rd and 3, and passes into and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Jamal Sullivan, who had to go off his hands, incomplete.
I Tell you what, Antoine Bolton got a hall pass. It was pretty ostensible that he was holding.
Is that an Avery hall pass?
He got a hall pass. That's an Fair Street Elementary in Gainesville, Georgia hall pass. But no, he was holding and got away with it. Clearly, Pierre Banks had come inside and was close to the quarterback, and Bolton said, what the heck, I got to hold this guy.
3rd down and 3. Here's Landers once again. Keeps and gets out close to the first down marker. Check the spot for you. Leading the charge for Appalachian State was Anthony Williams along with Tony Robertson, number 46. Appalachian came in ranked 5th in the country. They're 9-2. It's 4th down, and Mickey Matthews shouldn't have to think this one over too long before he punts it. James Madison ranked number 12 in the country, and they are 8-3. They lost only 2 games. That was to Richmond and also to William and Mary.
I'll tell you what, he's going for it, and he's in ASU's JMU's territory here.
Absolutely. And
he's got it.
Gone to the fullback. On the handoff, straight ahead dive, Antoine Bolton picks up the first down, and they just found a hole. Corey Lynch had to make the stop. They found a hole at right guard. Just plowed on through.
Tell you what, just poor tackling again by the front 4 defensive linemen. Hands off 1, 2. Second guy gets him, but the first guy should have wrapped him up and pulled him down. So, again, you got to tackle, and that was one of the keys coming into this ball game. ASU had to tackle and tackle well.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. As we head for quarter number 4, still anybody's ball game, but James Madison controlling the scoreboard as well as the time of possession here. Back with quarter number 4 after this. You're watching college football on CSS and CN8. James Madison cheerleaders, their team on top here as we go to the 4th quarter. It's 20-19. First down and 10 yards to go. And a handoff going to Sullivan once again. Sullivan into the secondary, and he'll cross the 45, take it right down to the 43-yard line. Jabari Sullivan is in there wearing number 48 because of the injury to Griff Yancey. Yancey's on the sidelines. I think he's got his right ankle iced. As you get a good look at Jamal Sullivan, the freshman tailback, 5'9", 205 from Rutherford Glen, Virginia.
Tell you what, he's not missing a beat in there at tailback. He's had 3 solid runs. Sullivan has, again, good vision, good quickness, not afraid to run in between the tackles, so he's doing a heck of a job right now.
14-yard pickup on that play, and he gets the football once again. This time, Appalachian State is waiting on him as they knock him down. DJ Smith knifed in from the weak side linebacker position to tackle Sullivan as Titus Howard finished him off.
I'll tell you what, DJ Smith has been all over the field today and over the last, actually 5 ball games. And, he had 16 tackles a week ago. And, as a true freshman, that's pretty impressive. That puts him in the same company as Dexter Coakley, who's an all-pro, actually 3-time All-American here at Appalachian. So he's a very active player.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball is at the App State 39-yard line. And the handoff going once again to Sullivan. You can hear the crack up here. Jock Roman was there. Also Anthony Williams made the stop. So it's going to be 3rd down and 7. This is a big, big play for that Appalachian State defense.
This is where these guys have to tighten up this ASU defense. Against Chattanooga, they gave up 217 yards last week in the first half, and then they kind of contained the Mocs in the second half. They're trying to do likewise here today with the Dukes, but they've got to show up with this play here.
They put in the tight end, Cosson. And play action. Here's Landers. And he's going to dive in and pick up the first down at the 31-yard line. Jock Roman made the stop, and again, the quarterback, Rodney Landers, does it with his feet. He just ducked in and picked up the necessary yardage. It's first down and 10 yards to go. Watch it again.
Again, he cannot find an open receiver. He looks both ways, brings it down. ASU plays man-to-man on the corners, and right there, the corner cannot come off the receiver because he still could throw the football up until he crossed the line of scrimmage. So good read by Landers there.
Gary Tharrington is back in the lineup after limping off a little bit ago. So he has returned, but Appalachian looking to get a stop here. It's time they load up the right side and run the option that way. Here's Landers. He'll take it down to the 26, a gain of about 5 yards. Jock Roman made another tackle for Appalachian State.
Looks like Tim Washington may be down for the Mountaineers. Again, this defensive line is already, again, injury riddled.
Time of possession at the end of the third quarter, 30 minutes for James Madison, 15 minutes for Appalachian State. So the Dukes have doubled up the Mountaineers in time of possession.
I tell you what, and anytime you can control the clock and run it effectively, a lot of times you're going to be successful as a football team. Again, 66 plays or 67 plays, 253 yards rushing.
So second down, 5 yards to go. Ball is at the 26-yard line. Landers takes it to the 25. Only got about a yard or two on that carry. Daniel Finnerty, the defensive tackle, another sophomore from Lawrenceville, Georgia, made the tackle.
You know, Chuck, they always say that every play is designed to score, but you and I both know intuitively you're going to get 3 to 4 yards a pop when you run the ball. And if you can do that, you're going to consistently get first downs. Right now, Landers is just doing a great job of running downhill, and he's getting that 3 to 4 yards every pop.
Bolton's back in there. They tried to sneak the tight end in, but Mike Cosson came back to the sideline. So here we go on third down, and a long 4 yards to go from the Mountaineers' 25-yard line. Shotgun package for James Madison. They're going to run the option out of that. The quick pitch goes to Bolton. Bolton gets knocked down at about the 22. Tackled on the play by Corey Lynch, who made a fine open field tackle. It will be fourth down and about a yard and a half or 2 to go.
It's a great play by Corey. Again, he'd like that defensive end to force it sooner so that he can make that read and come up sooner, but that was not the case. Corey had to come up as quickly as possible to hang on for dear life to tackle Bolton there.
Fourth down, about a foot and a half. Here comes a jumbo package for James Madison. They put the tight end in there. In fact, they put 2 tight ends in. Charlie Newman, number 44, and Mike Cosson, who wears number 85. We got the big fullback in there, too, Marvin Brown. They are 3 of 3 on fourth down conversion so far. Landers hands it off, and Sullivan, somebody missed him in the backfield. It was Corey Lynch, and down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Justin Wose puts his stop on the freshman Sullivan.
See, Corey would think about that play for a long time. Corey Lynch, take a look. He comes upfield. He's in the backfield. He's stopped before loss. Just does not wrap up. Corey's a great football player, but he's got to wrap up.
And keeps James Madison batting 1,000, 4 of 4 on fourth. For their lucky number today, they lead it by 1, 20 to 19, as we play in the fourth quarter. First down, 10 yards to go, ball at the 12. Landers, straight ahead dive, tries the right side, and down he goes inside the 10 at about the 7. The tackle on the play by Corey Lynch, at that time got some of his jersey and slowed him down. Tim Washington finished him off.
You know, in Corey Lynch's defense, Chuck, I mean, obviously he's having to come up and make too many tackles. That means that your linemen and your linebackers are not as active as they need to be. But once you come up, you've got to pull that guy down. You talk about that 100% on fourth down conversions. I mean, on 3 of those plays, ASU had a stop in the backfield. They just didn't wrap up.
So it's second down, 4 yards to go. The ball is at the Mountaineers' 7-yard line. And straight ahead dive. Landers once again gets hammered at the 5 by the middle linebacker, Jacques Roman. Roman fills the gap nicely and knocks down Landers after about a 3-yard gain. It's going to bring up third down and 1 yard to go, and they are definitely in 4-down territory here.
Doing a great job, as you said, mentioned earlier, chewing up time on the clock, and it looks like they're going to make this a productive drive. Already 14 plays, 72 yards, and again, just 30 minutes already of possession time. So great game plan right now for Mickey Matthews' team.
This drive started with 1:32 remaining in the third quarter. There's Here's Landers once again trying to find some room, and he gets gang tackled. We'll check the spot. I think he got the first down on forward progress. So it's going to be first down and goal at about the 2-yard line.
That was a good job by the offensive lineman, as well as Landers just keeping his legs moving. I mean, he's not built necessarily like a quarterback. He's 6'1", 215. Just good, strong lower body, and just kept turning there.
Titus Howard, Gary Tharrington combined on the stop. It is a first down. First down and goal to go. James Madison. They put the tight end back in there, Charlie Newman. And here comes Rodney Landers. Landers, junior quarterback from Virginia Beach. Went to Tallwood High School. 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, 1 setback. That's Sullivan. He gets the football running in the middle, and he goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Sullivan. Jamal Sullivan playing in place of Griff Yancey. Makes it a 2-score lead now for James Madison. They lead at 26-19 if they can make the extra point.
You know, if they make the extra point, it's really a 1-possession ball game, because if you get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, you're right back in it. But the thing is, right now, James Madison's in control. I mean, you think about it, the offensive line is knocking ASU off the ball, and anytime you can do that late in the 4th quarter, it says a lot about your strategy.
Tried for point after is good by Dave Stannard. Stannard makes it an 8-point lead for James Madison. 7:37 to go. Appalachian State's going to have to pull one out of the hat here. You're watching CSS and CN8. James Madison there. Fans are fired up as they lead it by 8 here. 27-19. There's your scoring drive. 76 yards, 16 plays. Sullivan caps it with a 2-yard run. The big statistic, though, 8 minutes, 55 seconds of possession time for James Madison.
Unbelievable. That's just great. Clock management, doing a great job of controlling this ball game with the running game. Good offensive line play. But Chuck, the only thing to think about is of ASU's 55 drives this season, 22 of them have been scores within 2 minutes. So I would surmise ASU's going to get the ball back probably 2, maybe 3 times. They can score quickly, but on defense they've got to step up if they want to have a chance in this football game.
Kickoff comes down to Coco Hillary at the 2. Back to the 20, slows up, gets knocked down at the 22. On the tackle, it was Jaron Griffin who made the stop. So Appalachian State goes to work. First down, 10 yards to go at their own 22-yard line. And they're hoping Armani Edwards can pull the rabbit out of the hat. 122 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns for him on the day. 7 of 10 throwing the football for 62 yards.
Chuck, the missing link has been Kevin Richardson. I mean, 13 carries, 49 yards. That's been the difference in this ball game here.
Kevin Richardson had 4 rushing touchdowns last year in the championship game against Massachusetts. First carry by Richardson will go out across the 25 to about the 28-yard line, where Adam Ford, the linebacker, makes a stop.
Speaking of Kevin Richardson, he's down on the far sideline there.
And that is not a good sign for Appalachian State fans as Richardson limps off. Twisted an ankle. And you mark the ball at the 27.5, second down and 4 yards to go. In the lineup is Devon Moore. Richardson's back up. Edwards has time, throws over the middle, and a diving catch at the 45-yard line by Josh Johnson.
Just a good protection up front right here by the offensive line. Great job of Armani by being patient. Great throw. Threw it in the only place that he could throw it. Great catch by Johnson. Again, that's that slant route across the middle. Going to take a shot of getting hit. A great concentration on his part.
You see the sophomore from Newland, North Carolina, Josh Johnson, number 82. So first down 10. Here's Edwards. Edwards throws the out route. It's complete to Dexter Jackson on the far side. And he gets knocked down in James Madison territory at about the 40 by Marcus Haywood.
Good job by Armonte again. That's a hard throw for him because he's left-handed, but good, solid throw. Good catch by Jackson out there in the flats. Again, we were talking, Chuck, ASU of the 55 drives this season, 40% of those drives have been where they've scored within or under 2 minutes, so they can score quickly, but can they defend as well is going to be the key.
16-yard gain, first down and 10 at the Duke's 39-yard line. Motion man is Corman, and they hand it off in there to the tailback. That's Devon Moore. Devin Moore makes it ahead 4 yards to the 35, where Arthur Mote, 6'2", 225, a sophomore, makes the stop for James Madison.
Good run by Devon Moore. Again, he's 5'9", 200 pounds out of Mebane, North Carolina, and he has almost 300 yards rushing in spot duty here this season. So he has been effective when he's been in the ball game.
There's a quick pass in the flat. It's caught by Jackson, and he gets knocked down inside the 30 at about the 25-yard line. That's another Appalachian State first down. The Mountaineers just flying down the field here. They're down by 8 points, 27-19. Sam Daniels, the defensive tackle, made the stop on Jackson.
Okay, good throw out there to Jackson. Good run after the catch by Jackson. You know, the thing about it, too, Chuck, again, if you missed, you had to block PAT, and you missed PAT, you wouldn't have to work as hard had you made those, but now they're going to have to get a 2-point conversion.
There's Edwards, quarterback keeper, and he got leveled at about the 25-yard line. That didn't go for much. John Baranowski, the reigning Sports Network Player of the Week nationally, makes a stop.
It's a good sure tackle by him as well. Again, just Armonte's elusive. He's a smaller guy than Landers, real elusive, and they can get away from defenders, but the defender made a sure tackle there.
Hans Badishon comes out wide to the left. They've got a slot man, Corman, over on that side. Here's Edwards back. He'll throw back to the right. The pass is caught by Hill. Now they're going to say incomplete. And he was hit from behind big time by Evan McCullough, who really smacked him at about the 20-yard line.
Tell you what, good protection up front. I tell you what, he would have caught that ball way to come up and make a great impact hit to dislodge that football.
So here we go. Blake Elder's in the game now at wideout. They got trips over on the left side at the bottom of your screen. Edwards looks left, now flushed out of the pocket, rolling left, throws downfield and over the head of the intended receiver. That was Hans Badishon at about the 18-yard line. So it's going to bring up fourth down and 10 yards to go from the 26-yard line. This will be about a 43-yard field goal attempt here for Julian Roush. The senior from Gastonia, North Carolina, transferred here from East Carolina. He's been good all season long. He is the Southern Conference first team all-conference place kicker. This will be a 44-yard attempt. Roush sends it on the way, and this one is good. Julian Roush nails one from 44. That makes it 27-22.
You know, the thing about that good drive by ASU, but it still makes it a touchdown possession ball game. They've got to score a touchdown to win this ball game. But good drive, and now let's see what JMU can do.
And those two missed extra points earlier by Appalachian State loomed even larger. This is college football on CSS and CN8. James Madison 27, Appalachian State 22. Hey, make sure you visit css-sports.com for the most recent programming schedules, contests, and up-to-the-minute scores from around the Southeast. CSS is your source when it comes to Southeast sports, so make sure to visit css-sports.com for all the latest information. Here's your scoring drive that culminated in that 44-yard field goal by Julian Roush to make it a less than one touchdown possession here. 52 yards on 9 plays and the 44-yard field goal. Now Roush, as you can see, teeing it up, getting set to kick it off to James Madison with 4:51 left. The big question, Avery Hall, Can Appalachian State get the ball back?
Absolutely. The last drive, JMU held the football for 8 minutes and 55 seconds. All day long, they've held the football for a total of 37 minutes. So can ASU get the ball back? That will be the million-dollar question.
Kickoff comes down to Scotty McGee. And McGee, who's been a good return man all day long, takes this one out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line, where he's knocked down by Cortez Gilbert, a backup cornerback. So 4:41 remaining in the ball game. It's 27-22. Appalachian State down by 5, needing James Madison to go 3 and out.
I tell you what, James Madison has held true on defense, actually holding ASU to 299 yards and 22 points.
Attendance at today's game, 14,040. That's a great crowd on Thanksgiving weekend here in Boone, North Carolina.
You know, it's interesting. They've averaged 27,000 here, so that's a bad crowd for ASU. But considering it's Thanksgiving, good crowd.
Yeah, and everybody's paying to get in, too. There's no freebies. They let you and I in free, and Dwight Covington here, our spotter, but that was it.
So that's normally, say 10 years ago, you'd have 8,000 here after Thanksgiving. So that's still a decent crowd after the Thanksgiving holiday, because most students are going home. Right
Sullivan on the carry, gets only 2. Therington makes the stop. It's second down, 8 yards to go. Mark it at the 25-yard line. Under center this time, the quarterback, Rodney Landers. He on the sprint draw goes once again to Sullivan. Sullivan crosses the 30 to the 31 before he's thrown back. He's going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Corey Lynch made the tackle, but it's going to be 3rd and short here. You know, you get that freshman tailback, and he gets like an 8-yard run at the line of scrimmage. He's hard to bring down.
He's a hard runner. You know, ignorance is bliss. He's not supposed to. He doesn't realize he's supposed to be tight. He's just running and having a great time and doing a good job at it.
He's in there because Griff Yancey, the starter, sprained his ankle. Jamal Sullivan came on in the 3rd quarter. He has played well as JMU continues to control the football. Here's Sullivan once again. This time he gets decked and thrown backward. Great play by the defense, and Jacques Roman, the middle linebacker, put the hammer on Sullivan. It brings up 4th down, I think.
Wow, that was a great play by the linebacker. Again, if you take a look at the replay, Sullivan, a true freshman, stepping up in the hole hard as he's done all day. Bam! Good play by Jacques Roman. Roman filling the hole and doing it with authority.
So it's 4th down and 2, and believe it or not, James Madison's gone for it here. Ball at the 31-yard line. On the quarterback.
He doesn't get it.
It's quarterback Rodney Landers. He didn't get there. He did not get there. It's going to be Appalachian State's ball. 1st down and 10 yards to go at about the 31. No gain on that play. I'm shocked that they didn't punt it.
I am shocked, and we're talking about, you look right here. They run this play all day, zone blocking by the offensive lineman. This time ASU just doesn't give them a seat to run in or seam to run in. Again, good job by ASU filling the gaps. But I tell you what, Mickey Matthews, he's a great coach. But I mean, I think I would have punted on that one if I were Mickey Matthews, Chuck.
I think that was Gary Therington who knifed in to turn him inside. So now a big break for the Mountaineers here. 2:35 to play. Ball at the JMU 31-yard line. 1st down and 10 yards to go for Armani Edwards. That's a 3 and out that Appalachian State needed. Here's Edwards. He gets muscled by a big defensive end over on the right side, Arthur Moats. Tackles Edwards at the 26, a gain of 5 yards on the play.
Wow, I tell you what, I'm still thinking about that call to go for it on 4th down. Again, you know, no guts, no glory, but by golly, you know, that's giving ASU a short field, and JMU knows that they can score quickly. I tell you, I think I would have punted and forced ASU to go the distance.
We close in on 2 minutes. Here's Edwards, fakes a reverse, keeps the football. Armani Edwards, I think he tried a forward pass there, tried to get it to Devon Moore. Let's see, I think Moore, watch where Moore is. He was definitely ahead of the quarterback, Edwards. That should be an incomplete pass.
Well, that was actually a lucky break, too, because that could have been a fumble recovery for the Dukes.
So it's 3rd down and 6. Appalachian State is 4 for 10 on 3rd down conversions. A minute 54 left. Edwards with Devin Moore, the running back. Straight drop. Throws underneath. Pass complete to Moore. Moore eludes one tackler and takes it to the 25.
Well, obviously, Chuck, with a minute 45, this is a 2-down territory. They're going to go for it on 4th. But this is it for this football game right here.
This is it for the season for one of these teams. For sure for Appalachian State, as the Mountaineers will spend a timeout here. It's going to be 4th down and 4 yards to go from the 25-yard line. So Appalachian State has 2 remaining, and now we'll take a break. Your score, James Madison 27, Appalachian State 22. The game on the line when we come back. This is CSS and CN8. Chuck Cushion along with Avery Hall. Here it is. Game on the line for Appalachian State, the 2-time defending national championship. They are 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions. This is 4th and 4. Edwards pump fake, throws for the end zone. Moore is there, caught at the 5-yard line. Devin Moore out of the backfield. That was thrown a little shorter. That's 6 points.
Wow. I tell you what, 8 men in the box crushed JMU on that play. They say the same things that will make you laugh or make you cry. They put 8 men in the box. Devon snuck out of the backfield there and barely made it back to that poorly underthrown ball. So good effort by Devon Moore.
2 receptions, 22 yards for Moore now, as Appalachian State has 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Here is Armani Edwards into the end zone. Touchdown! Wow. Edwards converts on 4th down and then takes it in from 5 yards out. Appalachian State grabs a 1-point lead here, 28-27.
Wow. Replay here again. Armonte just does a great job of finding the seam, but once again, the big guys up front did their part in knocking JMU off the ball.
Timeout is called by Appalachian State as they lead it by 1, 28-27. And the explosive James Madison offense led by Rodney Landers waiting their turn with 70 ticks on the clock here.
We knew that ASU could score quickly, but the difference is, Chuck, is the call by Mickey Matthews to go for it on 4th down in ASU territory, again, JMU territory. Again, that was going to be a coaching blunder that people are going to talk about in Duke's country. But had they gotten the 1st down, he would have been a hero. But again, he's going to have to deal with that call.
Yep, that was a 31-yard drive. They went for it on 4th and 2 at the 31, got stopped for no gain, and a very, very short field for Armani Edwards and company, and a clutch 4th down catch by Devin Moore.
Looks like they're going to go for 2 here, and you definitely don't want to put the ball in the air. You want to protect the football because they could easily take it back, as ASU did against Furman a few years back, and kind of put 2 points on the board.
Yeah, the miracle on the mountain, they still refer to that. Here's Edwards going for 2, and the ball is knocked away. It was intended on the backside of the end zone for Nick Cardwell, the tight end, but knocked down. So it's a 1-point game here, 28-27, 70 seconds remain in the season for one of these 2 teams.
You think Jerry Moore was thinking, if I get the 2-point conversion, it's 30-27. So if they go down and kick the field goal, we take it into overtime. But that's probably his thought. But really, 1 point, really wouldn't have done you much good. So again, now JMU is going to have to go the distance.
Scoring drive officially in the books at 32 yards after the 4th down conversion attempt failed by James Madison, and Mickey Matthews trying to figure out why in the world he didn't punt the football. That'll result in some sleepless nights in Harrisonburg, Virginia, if JMU ends up losing this game.
I tell you, he'll think about that for a while. But again, football is a quirky game, Chuck. I mean, he could be a hero had they made it. Good gutsy call, but he didn't make it. Now he's going to be the GOAT. So, but I tell you what,
maybe
Rakeem McCarter and Antoine Bolton, those guys are going to kind of see what they're going to be remembered for in this last 1 minute and 10 seconds, because those are going to be the guys that you're going to look for Landers to go to as he has to go to the air. He can run the ball because they've got a timeout, actually 3 timeouts left, but they're going to have to get it to the sideline. So I look for Lockheed Martin and those guys to be very active here.
And, you know, throwing the football is really not the forte of James Madison. They're a running football team, and now they're going to have to throw it if they hope to get into field goal position or get 6. But they're going to have to come up with a big play throwing the football route for the kickoff. And it comes down to Scotty McGee. McGee spins out across the 20 to about the 27, 28. And he gets knocked down by Cam Spear, a backup linebacker. So let's see where they mark it. They're going to put it down on the 30-yard line. We have 1:03 remaining. 14,000 plus on their feet, most of them rooting for the Appalachian State Mountaineers.
Chuck, if you're a football fan, you got to love this type of game. 2 teams that mirrored each other coming into the football contest. Again, both good running.
That's the Chancellor up and
good Chancellor.
Cheers. Landers throws a fade and a pass caught. Tight roping down the sidelines. Bosco Williams. Here we go.
Field goal.
That was a fade pass over the head of the defender, Justin Mosea. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to put it down at the 35-yard line. And Bosco Williams, he had 16 catches coming in. So far today, he has caught just 2, and none bigger than that one. So mark it at the 35. That play covered 36 yards. Still 57 ticks on the clock here in the game.
That was man-to-man coverage, and again, Bosco just did a great job of getting past the defender.
Landers runs it, takes it down to the 30, a gain of 5 yards on that play. They stopped the clock with 49.2 seconds remaining. On the tackle, Pierre Banks, and also there was Big Anthony Williams, the right side defensive tackle.
Tell you what, the block at Michigan, the block the field goal was huge, but if they allow James Madison to move the ball further down into the Mountaineer territory, they're going to need a huge block here today because they're easily moving into field goal territory.
Well, you think back on it, all that happened after that blocked field goal attempt by Corey Lynch, as big as that was, and the reverberations it sent throughout the college football world, you know, all around the country. I think Bino Cook said it was the biggest upset since Truman beat Dewey back in '48. But, you know, that particular play is minute compared to a blocked field goal here.
Absolutely.
I'm Chuck Huston along with Avery Hall. We're in Boone, North Carolina. Football championship subdivision. First round game between Appalachian State and James Madison. Here goes Landers once again at the 30. Puts his head down, takes it to the 27. Corey Lynch was there once again along with Titus Howard. And James Madison will burn their second timeout. So they've got 1 left. They mark it at the 26-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down, 1 yard to go. Still 42 seconds remaining.
You know, you talk about that being minute to compare to the block here. This is why college football is so fun, the football championship series. You know, I always joke and tell people, and I stole this from a friend of mine in Greensboro, North Carolina. You know, you vote for a homecoming queen, you vote for a class president, you shouldn't vote for a national champion. And in the football championship series, you know, you play it on the field, and that's why that block here, if it gets to that point, a block here is huge compared to even a block at Michigan, because it would allow ASU to continue to play. But if you miss it and they get a field goal, it allows James Madison to continue playing.
So it all comes down between those white lines, and there we go on 3rd down and 1 from the 26. Right now to be about a 43-yard field goal attempt for Dave Stannard. And a handoff going to the fullback inside the 15 down to about the 10-yard line. Will go Marvin Brown, I believe. They handed it to the first man through. And it's going to be first down and goal to go just inside the 10-yard line. Yes, that was Marvin Brown, and Pierre Banks made the stop. So there's 32.6 seconds remaining now. James Madison trying to come from behind. They spike the football. Landers will burn a play here as they stop it with 31 seconds remaining.
You know, you can see what the defenders were trying to do, strip the football from Sullivan as he rambled down the field. But in that play, you've got to tackle the guy because every yard is critical when you get down into ASU territory with 31 seconds on the clock with ASU leading 28-27. JMU's trying to get into field goal range, and so ASU needs to make a sure tackle versus trying to strip the ball.
Over the football, Scott Lem. I formation. Sullivan dots the I, and he gets the football running at left tackle. Takes it down, and the ball is loose. Ball is loose. Who's got it? Appalachian State. They force the turnover. Pierre Banks comes up with it on the fumble recovery, and the freshman Sullivan coughs it up. Appalachian State may have advanced. Corey Lynch is still down.
He's praying. He came here from the Christian Evangelical School down in Florida, and after each interception, he prays. And here's a replay here again. Sullivan, who's done an outstanding job, loses the football there.
Somebody got their hat. It may have been Corey Lynch got their hat on that football, and Pierre Banks came up with it. So with 22 seconds remaining, somebody got a helmet on it, knocked it loose from the freshman Sullivan, and Banks closes the deal.
Wow.
That's him, number 31.
You know, he's already, he graduated in 3 years here at Appalachian in electronic media and broadcasting, and actually is working on his master's. A hard-working guy on and off the football field. Kudos to Pierre Banks making a great play there.
Ball is at the 5-yard line. James Madison still with one timeout. The winner of this game advances to play the winner of the Eastern Washington McNeese State game. The Cowboys of McNeese State are undefeated. They're 11-0.
Chuck, I mean, I'm not sure which conference you're from, whether you're from Colonial or Southern. This has been a great football game, and this is, like I said, what college football is all about. You play for championships. You play it on the field. You don't have a computer ranking trying to determine where you're going to land. You don't have, some sports writer like, the two of us, deciding where a team's going to finish up.
Absolutely.
You settle it on the field, and that's what it's all about, and that's why this game's exciting.
So, with 22 seconds left, Appalachian State has to take a knee a couple of times, and they will advance to the second round. Their hopes of a three-peat still alive.
Do you think the computer would have anticipated a fumble on the 4-yard line?
I don't think so.
In?
There's the knee by Armani Edwards. And James Madison chooses not to use their final timeout. That's got to do it. James Madison goes for it on 4th down. They leave Armani Edwards and Appalachian State a short field, 32 yards. Edwards caps a brilliant play on 4th and 4 as he hit Devin Moore inside the 5, and then Edwards himself caps the drive, rushing 5 yards for the touchdown. And then Appalachian State dodges a bullet as James Madison fumbles it away near the end zone, and Appalachian State wins it 28-27. They're already dubbing this one the Great Escape for the Mountaineers. We'll take a break. Your final score here: Appalachian State 28, James Madison 27. The Mountaineers advance. You're watching CSS and CN8. Celebration is on at Kid Brewer Stadium as the Appalachian State Mountaineers win a wild and woolly game over James Madison in the first round of the playoffs, 28-27.